Welcome, everybody. This is Gamesoverplastic, episode number 11. This is a very special episode. We are joined by an excellent guest today. We're going to be talking about our Xbox Showcase favorite games, the ones we're looking forward to the most. We're going to be ranking the Xbox consoles from least to best, and we're just going to have a good time. Like I said, as always, I'm joined by my amazing co-host here, the master of graphics, the indie and live service gaming maestro. He's also a country musician. Check out his new song. We have Hodge. How you doing, bro?
I don't know about, I wouldn't say I'm a country musician, but yeah, you can check out my songs on YouTube if you want. I don't care. I just make them for fun, but I'm doing good. Long week. Looking forward to doing this episode, talking about that amazing showcase. I cannot wait to dive into that. And then just happy to have our awesome guest here with us today. Been looking forward to podcasting with him for a while.
Absolutely. And last but not least, we have our special guest for today. He is the CEO of IronLords.net, the host of the Iron Lords podcast, the co-host of Defining Duke, Lord Beefy, the one and only Lord Cognito. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, fellas? Midnight, Hodge. Oh, man, it's long overdue. Appreciate the patience. And we're going to talk games over plastic. We got stuff to talk about. Oh, man, I can't wait, man. Definitely excited in general about gaming right now. So I'm on a little euphoric high, but I'm glad I'm no longer traveling. I've been traveling for almost like a month straight. So it's good to be in my house, my bed, in front of my TV with games instead of doing all the other stuff I was doing.
Yes, sir. I heard that you were traveling a lot. I heard that you were kind of coming down with the convention flu. I'm glad. It sounds like you're doing all right, though. You feeling okay?
Bro, I done had this thing so many times that my body's like, yeah, we know the routine. We know the routine. Just, medication up, rest, tons of water. But yeah, I got back into the gym and all my routines probably like the last 2 days. So I'm definitely feeling better. I felt bad for King because when I did Defining Duke, that episode right after the showcase for the hotel, he was my roomie. Yeah. And every once in a while, you hear an occasional cough. And so I was like, bro, this is your fault. You got it from you, who got it from other people. It's all over the place. But I'm doing much better. But thanks for asking. And yeah, man, I'm excited to talk all the stuff we got lined up. It's going to be a good one.
Yes, sir.
I got to say, I find it funny that obviously the mantra on Defining Duke is health is wealth. And which I'm excited about that shirt. It's a freaking awesome piece of merch. Not to toot my own horn, obviously. Woo! I'm excited for that, but I always love that. Like every other week, it's one of you. You or Maddie? Yeah, I'm sick.
Well, but we sick today. Look, I'm on a streak, man. I was on a good streak, but not being sick pretty much for the whole year. Then, yeah, dude, conventions, it happens, man. So much contact with people, then you figure the international crowd and everything like that. We know who the culprit is, who actually admitted, from one of our friends from Australia. So I was like, all right, it is what it is, but it comes with the territory, unfortunately.
Was it Skill Up?
Oh, damn. Yeah, not that Aussie. I know a bunch. We know a bunch of cool Aussies. Not that one. Skill Up. But Skill Up was sick. He told me he was sick. He was like, so it's going around. It's going around.
It's just going to happen. You go to a convention with like 1,000 other people, you just got to expect it. It comes with the cost,
Exactly.
I had a cough for 2 months after New York, man. It was, yeah. Everyone got sick there. Dustin was like, "Who got me sick?"
We gotta get midnight outside. Get him sick.
Bronchitis. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I want to go to the show in Cali coming up, but I can't, man. I got like no PTO, and I got my dad flying down this year, so I got to use my time to spend with him. So, but I'm looking forward to hopefully that London next year. We'll see.
Yeah, I had to make a choice with the San Diego show the week before. Or the week after the Bears come down to Texas to play in Houston, and me being a diehard Bears fan, and Houston only being 2 hours away, I'm like, I gotta. It's a Sunday night, and it's a Sunday night game, so
it's over.
I'm like, I gotta.
Y'all feeling yourself this year. Y'all gotta. I see y'all popping off. The city's all my Chicago dudes was like, yo, we coming, we ready. You know what I'm saying? You got the QV, you got some really strong picks. I like
I
it.
knew Williams was coming. I knew that one was going to be there, but getting a Dunze there in the first freaking round also, I was like, what? Now I'm hyped.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
hyped for football too. I'm a Steelers fan. We finally got quarterbacks. We got Russell
Ooh,
Wilson.
okay.
He's looking good. We got my boy Fields from Ohio State. I'm an Ohio
Yes.
State fan. You see
I
that
see what it is.
OH right there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
see what it
So
is.
I'm
Yeah.
hyped for the Steelers. I'm hyped for the Buckeyes. Man, I
All
can't
right.
wait for football, man. It's going down.
Same. All of us football dudes. I already
I
said.
really Cog, are you a college football dude?
You know what's funny? I didn't go to a big school, so I never had that association. So I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what though. One of the first games I went to, my boy went to Purdue. First college football game I ever went to was Purdue versus Ohio State.
Mm.
That right there, I was like, damn, the NFL ain't got nothing on it. Like the energy of a college football game on game, like it is nuts, bro. I
Which
have to admit.
stadium?
We were in, unfortunately, wasn't in Ohio. I was in West Lafayette, sir.
Ah.
I didn't get the full, but y'all showed out. Like y'all,
yeah.
bro, that OHIO, y'all tore the whole stadium up. Y'all ran that place for a bit. So,
Dude, we have Ohio State has a slogan: "Every game is a home game."
pretty much.
And it's true. Like I live in Dallas now, right, or just north of Dallas. A couple years back, Ohio State had a game against TCU. TCU was ranked. They were like number 12 or something. They were really good. They are they're basically a Dallas school. They're like right in Dallas. The game was in the Cowboys Stadium. And I swear to God, it was 70% Buckeye fans, 30% TCU. And this is in their backyard. This is their home. And we sold that shit out.
100% believe it. Y'all guys come show out.
What about the game? Are you hyped for college football 25 coming back from EA?
Yes, that's huge. That is huge. Just because, like, again, like it's been such a deficiency to not have a college, football game for so long, and to finally do it and to see the reception it's getting is like super dope. So I'm from that era where I used to, you buy the Mattins every year. You had the college football games. I remember an old school NCAA basketball game. I'm gonna say for like, what was it? Am I gonna say Super Nintendo? It was old. It was a long time ago, but I remember playing
that too.
Yeah, I remember playing that. It was 3D. It was like, but it was very kind of, slow. But yeah, man, I remember those type of experiences, and it's huge. It's absolutely huge to have those back. So hopefully the trend continues in good sports games and more of them besides Madden messing things up every year.
Dude, every time I think of NCAA, I think of just that. I think it was 06 that had Reggie Bush on the cover. I think of that all the time. Like that's like the game that I've always loved NCAA over Madden. I've always thought it played more fun. Yeah. And it's the same with you. Like I'm a bigger NFL fan, but college football, going to
the game
for going an NFL game, it's on another level. The atmosphere of a college is so much more fun than like just going to a stadium in a city. Yeah, I love college games.
We the same, Hodge. We the same.
It's more fans. They're more passionate. They're more drunk. It's just crazy. It's good times, man.
Oh yeah, liquor flowing, baby. It's outside. It might pop off if you say the wrong thing. It might pop off.
Yeah, college football 25 though is maybe my most anticipated game of this year. I've been waiting for 11 years, bro. I'm ready. 10 years.
You was holding.
I'm gonna be grinding that dynasty mode. I'm gonna be creating my own player and doing that road to glory. I'm gonna be doing it all. But let's keep it moving here. Let's get into some administrative stuff. So this is Games Over Plastic, the podcast, which is for the agnostic gamers. No console wars over here, just gaming fun. We're coming to you every other Monday on YouTube at youtube.com/@gamesoverplastic. Just search for it. You'll find it. We're also on every audio podcast service, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, every cast. We're invading your ears from every service. So just look for us there. If you're on the audio service right now, if you check the description, there is a link to the video if you want to check us out with cams and graphics and all that stuff. If you want to check out Lord Beefy and all his glory, pause. What else? So if you're on YouTube, guys, leave us a like. It helps us out, and drop a sub. We only got 38 subs on YouTube, which is fine. It's a brand new channel, but hey, if you're liking what you're hearing, drop a sub. That way you don't miss an episode. But yeah, so that's the administrative stuff. Super excited to get into this episode. We're going to be talking Xbox. It's going to be good times. Let's go ahead and get it started with some games, shall we, guys? Let's go ahead and start with what we are playing. Let's go ahead and start with you, Cog. You're our special guest. What have you been playing? What's going on with that?
Bro, I'm in like a complete gaming renaissance right now. Like all of my favorite games are like in this peak euphoric stage of being good, and like I have to. Most of you guys know, Iron Lord's podcast kind of founded off of Destiny, and that was right
Mhm.
around the Rise of Iron DLC. So I've been with this damn game for so long, and just to see the ups and downs and the pressure that Bungie has had coming into the final shape after Lightfall was not received well. So I was a little nervous. Let's see what they do. I'm just like, just please tell a decent story. It's been 10 years. Conclude this thing right. Man, they absolutely knocked it out the park. I cannot, words can't describe how much they absolutely cooked on the quality of the story, the narrative. Oh man, it's just it's amazing. So all I would say for the people who don't play Destiny, the best example I can say is this is our Avengers Endgame, and they actually did it in epic passion. So campaign was great. Played on legendary. Finished that. Extremely challenging. What was kind of cool is they didn't baby you. They had a lot of mechanic based encounters that really required a lot of teamwork. And then once you beat the campaign, they said they would conclude the narrative in the actual in the raid. The raid, from what I understand, was I haven't got a chance to play that yet, but the raid, from my understanding, is extremely challenging. Sets up another story beat, but then they did something extremely special, which I kind of alluded to on Duke, which I recorded this week, is that they literally had a moment where the community had to come together to defeat the witness. And it was, I'll just explain it briefly. It's just a 12-man activity. It was the best thing they've ever done. And I will say I was blown away. And like I said, cinematics all throughout in conjunction with gameplay. They absolutely cooked. Salute to Bungie. Hopefully they saved their, I don't know. I know they did it from a quality standpoint. Now we got to see from the financial standpoint if this saves the damn studio. That's another thing. If Sony's satisfied, if their board doesn't get taken over. But salute to the final shape. Really cooked. It seems like it's being received well. And then the second thing I've been playing is ton of Tekken because I've been traveling a lot. So I've been having to ROG Ally a lot on the flight. So a new patch came out basically changing a lot of the balance and giving more defensive options. The game is very aggressive right now. So the hardcore players like, I feel like it's a casino. You go, I go, but no one gets a chance to fight back. So they made a lot of huge changes. So I've been playing a lot of rank doing that. And then the last one, I've been playing this little indie game. I want to shout out from Tail Games. It's called Faeland, Faeland. It's on Steam right now. Full release is not out just yet, but I've been following this game since like 2018, and it's the best way I could describe it is if you're old school, you play like Zelda: Link to the Past, the 2nd Zelda.
Yeah.
It's that side scrolling kind of thing. You could tell he's inspired by that, but this thing, like amazing animations, Metrovania. It is really fun, man. The demos, I believe it's up now, so go check it out if you're into those style of games. I can't stop playing this game. So Phelan is on the list. So those are the 3 I've been playing consistently right now.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I just Googled this Faeland here. I'm looking at some screenshots. It looks nice. I like the pixel kind of has like a whimsy, majestic kind of look to it. I see, dude. He's got his bow out. He's shooting at like some kind of deer beast. He's got a sword. It does kind of have like Zelda, but like more artsy, modern vibes. It looks like that looks kind of cool.
It's so much fun. Please give them a shot, man. You can see the attention to detail and care, and it's challenging too. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those games. Okay, you need these type of items or these magic boots to get past this area to traverse to open up the map, and it's just all that kind of elven magical Zelda kind of stuff, and it's really good.
Dude, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Go ahead, Hodge.
I was looking at the screenshots. It just brought me back to having a Sega Genesis. Like it's exactly what it looks like.
Yes,
that's exactly what it looks like.
Animations are outstanding. Creatures, boss encounters, everything.
Huh. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is like very Genesis vibes. Like a lot of games that they came out with in that era that was in this kind of style.
Yes,
that's cool. I like that. Hodge, you got any comments on the games he's playing, or you play any Destiny or anything like that?
I haven't. No, I played Destiny when it came out. I bought the launch edition that came in with the little ghost, like the collector's edition. Like I had that one. I gave the ghost to my brother because he still plays Destiny. I fell off of it because I got to like level. Was it after 20 is when you got your light levels or whatever in the original way back in the day? And I got to like light level 26 or something, and I ended up falling off. I played for a while. But it just, I don't know, it just didn't hit me. But I heard Destiny 2 is so much better, obviously. It's just, once it got to the point where my brother's like, hey, come play Destiny with me again. I'm like, I've missed 4 expansions and you can't go back and play them. And I'm like, I'm the kind of guy, I've said this before, that when a game comes out, I play every game leading up to it. Like when Alan Wake came out, I didn't only play Alan Wake, or when Alan Wake 2 came out, I didn't only play Alan Wake. I played Quantum Break, I played Control, I played all of Remedy's games leading up to Alan Wake 2 because that's the kind of gamer I am. I can't jump in mid-series. Even if I've played it before, I can't jump in mid-series. I have to start over again, which is why I'm going to start playing Gears again soon before E-Day comes out. But yeah, so I'm that kind of gamer. And so when it's like, yeah, you can't access the old ones and, you know, they locked away weapons, and I'm like, I don't know. I love Bungie. Obviously, they made the greatest trilogy of games ever made, and so I can't complain about them. It's just it's such a. I already play Fortnite and Helldivers. I can't commit to another live service.
It's a marriage, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do not blame you on that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and one other thing, I forgot. I can't remember if you mentioned this on Duke or not, or ILP. Mm-hmm. Were you going to get that new ROG, or are you just sticking with the one?
I'm debating. I've been tempted. I was staying strong, and then shout out to Saul's brother Kaibatsu. He's the one that's like, yo, there's a trade-in program with Best Buy, and you know, then he's like, double the battery size, and I think there's more onboard memory. So I'm leaning towards maybe doing it, only because the battery from the initial Ally is really bad. That's one of my bro. It's bad. If you play any high performant game, you get in like an hour, and that thing is down to 5. You married to the plug next to I get mad if like the plug on the airplane doesn't work correctly because I know I'm in trouble. That kind of thing. I would say like 75% I'm supposed to get it.
Yeah. I flew down to Texas. Now I'm living here, but I flew down for my brother's wedding last year, and I brought the ROG to play just Death Stranding because it was on PC Game Pass at the time. And I had to have it plugged into an Anchor brick like the entire time I was using it because it does not last. The thing does not last at all. That's the same reason I'm thinking of upgrading. I didn't know there was a trade-in program actually. So if with that being the case, that might push me over the edge because I love the thing, but yeah, that battery,
it's brutal, bro.
Oh. Brutal. No, I do. Though at the same time, I'm like, do I just hold on to it until a supposed Xbox handheld comes out? Because if I can have my Xbox library on the go,
that would be sick.
I
don't know if you guys saw, but Phil had an interview where he basically kind of hinted, like, yeah, it's real, it's coming.
So I'm
kind of denied at all. He was hinting.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping for that because, like I love the Ally, but it's just your Game Pass library. If I could get my whole library on there, I'd be that'd be
fire. It's huge.
Yeah. I just the ROG is better than the Steam Deck in the sense that it's local. It's not streaming. You actually have local Game Pass on it. So that's what I really love about it. So if I get that plus my Xbox catalog, I will dive right into that.
Man, you already know.
Yes, sir. For me on there, Destiny. I used to love Destiny, like Destiny 1. I was heavy in Destiny 1. I mean, I was running that Vault of Glass. I was running Crota. I loved Crota. I was playing my hunter. I was always the sword carrier, pick up the sword right there and smack Crota in his face. Mm-hmm. It's funny, my gamer tag is Midnight NS, and the NS actually stands for no shards. I changed my gamer tag to NS for no shards because the game was never giving me any shards. I would run Crota like every week, and like you would get shards to drop to, I don't even remember what it was for, to upgrade something, your character or something, and they would never drop. Like all my teammates would be like, yeah, I got some shards, and I would always get some BS. Like I get like some weapon that I already had or something. So I literally changed my gamer tag to NS for no shards, and then they started dropping.
Oh, that's fire.
But yeah, I haven't really played a whole lot of Destiny 2, but I'm happy to see that it's going. PlayStation better not mess with or shut down Bungie. Bungie's too storied of a studio. They're too good. We'll have to see what Marathon. Are you excited about Marathon?
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the biggest extraction shooter guy, but it's Bungie. And one thing about Bungie, we have to admit that once they get their hands on, you may question their decisions and as far as long term, but as far as the feel of a game and gameplay and gunplay, and I'm dying to see their take on that. You know, I used to play a little bit of Rainbow Six Siege and stuff like that, but I'm curious to see what's their take on extraction shooters. So yeah, I will definitely be there.
Yes, sir. All right. So let's go ahead and keep it moving here. Let's get to you, Hodge. What have you been playing? I know you've been working a lot, so I don't think you're playing much, but what's been going
Yeah.
on?
This the same of if I have a little time, I'll hop into a Fortnite round or something. They just updated it again. They added Metallica for some freaking reason. So like, I just always find it so funny. They have Metallica and Eminem in the game who were like so controversial when we were younger, and now it's just they're in a kids game, and I find that so funny.
That is
Find
funny.
that so
It
funny.
is funny, especially people who don't have context, like the young.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
It's like how I remember back in the 90s when Red Hot Chili Peppers put out Californication, and that was such a like you could not it was a horrible song. And then I remember hearing it in like an Applebee's. I'm like, so now it's elevator music, this very controversial song.
The virtuous cycle, as Jim Ryan would say.
Yeah, but then obviously I hop into Helldivers every once in a while. But the main thing I did play was the Alan Wake 2 DLC, the Night Springs DLC. So for those who don't know, Alan Wake 1 and 2 are two of my favorite games of all time. I love this series. And so they came out this 3-episode, it's like they're an hour long basically, episodes of Night Springs. And the first one you play as Rose, the waitress from the coffee shop. The second one you play as oh my god, I'm blanking her name, the main character from Control. Mm-hmm. And then the third one you play as basically the actor who plays the dude in Quantum Break and the sheriff in Alan Wake 2. And you're basically playing as him who's living the reality in the show. If the start of the episode, he talks to Sam Lake and he's like, "You're doing a great job," and and then he morphs into the reality where he is the character, and so they're really goofy. Like the first one, the dark enemies from the game, they, instead of being like taken over by the darkness, they're haters on Alan Wake, and they're charging Rose because she's obsessed with Alan Wake, and so they're Alan Wake haters, and they're attacking her for that reason instead of being like possessed by the dark. So it's just that Remedy goofiness. Like they're like some of the masters of horror. Like Alan Wake 2 is a terrifying game at times, but they also just have this weirdness that's so cool. And so the DLCs, I don't really know how they're going to mix in with like the main story of, the whole series and whatnot. One thing I do like though, is that they basically confirmed that Quantum Break is now canon after denying that it was canon because Xbox owns it or whatever. But they talked about Quantum Break, like the two characters who are the main characters in Quantum Break in this, they're talking about like, is there a world where we fell in love or something? She goes, there was. And that's referring to Quantum Break basically. And so I love the Remedyverse. They're probably my favorite studio. We'll do an episode where we talk about our studios, and spoiler, they're going to be my favorite because I love this studio. And so the episodes, I'm not sure where they're going to mix in the grand scheme of things, but they were fun, and I was happy to have more on Alan Wake. And yeah, they're just, if you're a fan of Alan Wake, definitely give it a playthrough. They're goofy and also just fun. Like they load, like Alan Wake 2 is a survival horror where you have to find everything and like find your resources and keep space in your, inventory and whatnot. But this one, they just load you with ammo and it's just fun. So it's like, you don't have to, it's not really the survival part. It's just really enjoying these weird, goofy stories that are kind of like Twilight Zone episodes. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and anyone should play it if you're a fan.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked really cool. I remember seeing it at Showcase, and then I was super humbled to get a chance to actually meet, Sam Lake and to see, like to talk to him and to see the connective tissue of all his games with that content is super dope to see. So yeah, I had to give him his flowers, man. The crowd had a lot of energy when they showed that the characters for Control and Quantum Break and stuff like that, all kind of merging the timelines in a way, in a fun kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're not really talking about Key 3 on this episode, but it was, I missed a lot of it because I was still working, but I heard it wasn't that great. But then I got home like 10 minutes before Sam Lake took the stage. I sprinted to the TV. I'm like, holy crap, Alan Wake's here.
Oh, yeah.
So I was so hyped. And yeah, the next day I played through all 3 because I absolutely adore that.
That's your game. That's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
That is good. Yeah, I haven't played Alan Wake yet. That's something I need to do. I know you love that game. You're always talking about how great it is. I know you was really listening to that Old Gods of Asgard or whatever, like on repeat.
They're my number one band on Spotify right now. Oh, wow. Old Gods of Asgard is my number one band on
Spotify
right
Wrapped. It's just nothing but Old Gods of Asgard.
Dude, their music is so, like, unironically, because the band Poets of the Fall is so good. I listen to their music too, but yeah, the Old Gods of Asgard stuff is I love it because it goes through all the games. They're in every game. So you just get to enjoy. And they put out a greatest hits on Spotify, which is just all their songs from the games. I love listening to that. Some great rock music.
That's what's up. I'm gonna have to add Alan Wake to my never-ending backlog. I don't know if you saw. I posted my current backlog in Discord. It's like 40 games now, and that's not even everything, bro. It just never ends. But I'll add Alan Wake 1 and 2 in there, and one day I'll get to it.
Combined, it's like 30 hours combined for the two games or something. They're really not that long.
That's what's up. And
I love it because they're like Stephen King like Twin Peaks kind of stories. They're just really trippy and good. I mean, Control is the one I say everyone should play, because if you don't like horror, then you're not going to like Alan Wake. But if you just want a fun ass game, Control's fun. Awesome. Yeah.
I just got back into that. I was like, man, I think because it jumped into Game Pass. I was like, man, that was one of my backlog. I felt bad for missing. And I was like, man, this is actually really good.
And the powers you get are better and better as it plays.
Yeah.
That's what's going on, though. We're just getting drowned in so many great games. Like, they're adding bangers to Game Pass left and right, and I can't even play them because I just don't have time. Like, they added Star Wars, what is it? What's the new Star Wars that just came out? Not Outlaws.
Jedi Survivor?
Jedi Survivor. They just added that. They just added, as you said, Control. They just added something else, like, literally yesterday that looked cool.
They added the 2 Octopath games recently.
Oh, yeah. Huge. Yep.
They had Octopath. And then, like, literally yesterday, they added a pretty big game that I wanted to play. And it's like, I don't have time. Damn, bro.
Flooding the streets, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and
get into... I'm playing, so whatever you're up to.
Yes, sir. Let me go ahead and get into what I've been playing here. I got 3 games on my list right now. So the first one, I beat Yakuza Kiwami 2. Beat that. It's on Game Pass. Of course, all the Yakuza games are on Game Pass, so shout out to that. Gotta love it. So I played Yakuza Kiwami 2, beat the game, absolutely loved it. This is the 3rd game in the Yakuza trilogy. You got 0, you got Kiwami 1, and then Kiwami 2. And then it goes Yakuza 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Cog's favorite, you got like a dragon with his boy Ichiban Kasuga or whatever. Yeah, the lovable goofball.
That's right.
But so I'm on a mission. I want to play Gaiden, the man who erased his name, and I want to play Infinite Wealth real bad, right? But I'm kind of like Hodge. I'm right there. I'm like, I got to earn it. So I got to go back and play these old ones. So I played Kiwami 2 and I beat it. What's cool about these games is they're not really that long. You beat the game in like 20 hours. It only took me like 19, 20 hours. And I did a decent amount of side content too. I didn't 100% it, but I did a nice sampling of the side quests and the side content. I was satisfied. So it's really not that big of an ask. It's not like Maddie with like Trails in the Sky or Trails of the Daybreak or whatever.
He's in a Daybreak.
Yeah, he's always recommended these games to like 700 hours of games.
Yeah, bro, that's a lot of games. You're right.
Yakuza is not like that. You can bang those out in 20 hours. So that's what I'm doing. I beat Yakuza Kiwami. It was really good, very fun game. I absolutely loved it. I love how they always have a really good, serious, hard-hitting story, and it's juxtaposed with like this foolishness with the side quests. You got dudes running around in their underpants. You got dudes dressed up like little babies and stuff. Not in this game, but in other games. But it's really cool. I really enjoyed that for sure. So that was Yakuza Kiwami 2. Shout out to Game Pass. Next game that I'm playing is XDefiant from Ubisoft. This is a live service. What is this? Midnight playing a live service game? Is this a fake podcast? No, I'm doing it. You know, back in the day, I used to be a live service gamer. I used to play Call of Duty. I used to play Halo. I used to play Smite. I used to play CSGO and all this stuff. But you know, I've been playing single player a lot lately, as you guys know. I'm Midnight, the single player and RPG gamer. But XDefiant, yep. XDefiant though has got me. I've been playing with some of my old friends from Call of Duty. Shout out to my boy DLB. We've been playing a lot. XDefiant, it's got that old Call of Duty feel. There's no skill-based matchmaking, which I like because I hate skill-based matchmaking. I think it's ruining gaming.
Damn.
I don't want to be sweating and playing like I'm playing a tournament every match. You know what I mean? I'm an old man now, and I just want to hop in and have some fun. I don't want to be playing all these kids that are like Adderall sliding and jumping all around the map. Like,
if you're over there for that kiddie pool, I see. I'm just messing with you. I get you.
What's good though about XDefiant is you really do get a very diverse, varied matches. Like there are some matches where it is that kiddie pool where you just stomp people out and it feels great because you go on streaks. But then you get in the next game and all of a sudden you get stomped out. We've played some really good teams that have beat our ass. So you get a nice wide variance, and I like it. But it's got some good gunplay. The Vector is melting on there. The ACR, of course, is great. And my favorite, the P90, just going to work. So shout out to XDefiant. That's what I've been playing. And then last but not least, the game that I'm currently playing, one from my backlog, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Unity. I never played this, so
Oh
I'm
wow.
in France. Shout out to Paris.
Yes.
This game is awesome. Dude, it's really good. The graphics for a 10-year-old game, the graphics on this game are banging. And if you play it on Series X, they got that FPS boost,
Oh
so you get
nice.
60 frames. It's like 1080p 60, but it's
Mm.
upscaled. I think it's upscaled to. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
There's NPCs everywhere. The story is really good. The characters are awesome, dude. I'm chilling with Napoleon, and he's really cool in this game. His voice actor is nailing it. Like he's helping out the cause, and he's really awesome. Shout out to Napoleon, one of the baddest people of all time in history. I'm a Napoleon fan. I'm a fan of history. I like the French
Cool.
Revolution. I like the Napoleonic Wars. So
Nice.
that's cool. That's right in my bag. And then they got this really nice redhead. Shout out to her. She's looking good. Elise. It's just great characters. I'm enjoying. So that's what I'm playing. Assassin's Creed Unity. I haven't beat
Nice.
that one yet. Have you
Nice.
guys played any of those games or any thoughts on those?
Yeah, I mean, Unity. It's interesting. I got a funny story because Unity started is partly responsible for why Iron podcast exists because that's how I became friends with Addict. We had mutual friends that were in Xbox Live party chats, and he was a big Assassin's Creed guy. And I remember at that time Unity came out, and I was playing Destiny Rise of Irons DLC,
Mm.
and he would come in the party like ragging on Destiny, and I'm like, bro, you didn't even play it, like, don't stop it. So then he's like, bro, it's nothing better than Assassin's Creed or whatever. And we just made like a stupid bet. It was like, okay, he's like, if you play Unity, I'll play Destiny. And then, it was something like, if you like it, I'll buy the game. It was some weird bet we had, but we challenged each other to play each other's game. And at the time, Unity was kind of controversial at the time because these are like the older consoles, and
Yeah.
it had a lot of performance issues at that time. So I would love to revisit it now, like you said, Midnight, because you talk about the 60 FPS. I'm like, man, that's right. It's probably looking like real sweet right now.
Yeah.
So at the time, I had the advantage. I was like, man, this kind of rough performance-wise, but the game was good, right? And then he ended up falling in love with Destiny, and we used to just play Destiny every night, and thus IOP was formed. So yeah, long story short is just that the connection I have with those games is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So there you go. Shout out to Addict. So did you like he forced you to play Unity? You enjoyed it?
Yes. Oh yeah, it was really good. They were very ambitious with the traversal, and then also I remember the cooperative aspect. If I'm mistaken,
Yeah.
like the 4-player. Yeah, man, I love that. So you throw co-op in the game, kind of got me in a way. Even though I do like my single player experiences, I am more of a social gamer like lately. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that they were bold in it. And I remember the town square and all the NPCs. They were really ambitious with this game. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really in my wheelhouse because, like I said, I am like a history nerd. I like history. Like I said, I really do like the Napoleonic Wars and Napoleon. So like when I pulled up and I'm doing this mission, and all of a sudden I open this door, and all of a sudden I don't want to spoil too much or anything, but all of a sudden I got a pistol to my face, and this dude kind of outplays you, and it's Napoleon. And it's like, oh shit, it's Napoleon. And he's just a lieutenant at that time. He's a young dude. And all of a sudden you start working with him and helping him out. And I'm like, this is just so cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just love it, man. Shout out to Assassin's Creed. One of my favorite series. It gets a lot of hate, but I love it, man. I love AC3, the American
Nice.
Revolution. I love
Nice.
2 is my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
Odyssey and Greece, I absolutely love that game. Even though a lot of people hate the RPG stuff, I love it. I'm an RPG
It's
dude.
when it's got its most popular. A lot of people love it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And you got to go back, Cog. I know you love your boy Ichiban, but you got to go back and play these old Yakuza games sometime, man, because they are good. They are really good.
Kiryu.
And you like Kiryu.
I like Kiryu. Me and him is good. I just don't like they format. Like
You don't like the action.
Yeah, like the beat 'em up and the control was driving me crazy. Like I tried, I really did, and it sucks because the games are so good and the story are heartfelt, and
Yeah.
Kiryu the character is amazing. It's just that format of game, the gameplay, it just drives me nuts. Now, I will say this though. I loved Gaiden, the man who erased his name, because they actually did some things that I've always wanted the older series to do as far as the way you control. You're taking on 35 people and stuff like that. Then he's got these cool gadgets and he's kind of in his James Bond. You can switch stances from old school Kiryu, the way you play it, versus this new James Bond style, which I liked it. It was really cool. So yes, I know I probably should go back to it, but I'm an Ichiban guy, and I don't like the older format of the old games. I'm sorry. When they went turn-based, I said, yes, I can play now.
I hear you. I got two things to say to that real quick.
Let's go.
Because I feel you on that, like the combat, especially in the old ones, like Kiwami 1 was really old. It's kind of janky. It's kind of musty.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't control that good.
You guys won't admit that. Thank you for saying that. I really think it
is. Yes. It is. So this is the workaround that I found, Cog, and I got no shame in this.
Let's go. What you doing?
I put it on easy. And I tell you what, it made the combat so much better because you're just beating the shit out of everyone. There's hardly any challenge, and it makes that janky combat feel actually somewhat good because you feel overpowered. You're just stomping people out. You're like, yeah, that's what's up, and that way you can just enjoy the story and the quest and the world and stuff. So that if you ever do decide to do it, it's on Game Pass. Just throw it on easy. Who cares? Don't let nobody.
Now here's the key question, and you may sell me. Are achievements locked to difficulty mode?
Okay, so I'm not 100% guy. I don't go for the 100%
confirm that. Yeah, because if they got anything that's like you beat it on normal hard, then that's gonna hurt my soul. That I will never get that. So that as stupid as that sounds, it would be a deterrent to me. But if there's no difficulty based achievements, then all right, Midnight may have sold me on it.
So you going back, you're going to try to get the 1,000 gamer score for these old games?
Not that I got to get the 1,000, but at least for the completionist of the story. I hate that it's like, okay, you beat the story, and then it's like, but the normal mode achievements are not unlocked. Then I'll be like, damn.
I don't know the answer to that. I'll find out and I'll tweet you. I'll let you
sounds
know.
Good. Sounds good. Hit me with a tweet.
But yeah, and the second thing that I was going to mention, and we'll get to Hodge, is I like Zero. You should play Zero sometime because it's real good. It's just the first one, Yakuza 0. It's in the 80s. You're in the 80s Tokyo. Nice, it's pretty cool. And you get to play as not Ichiban, sorry. You get to play as Kiryu, and also Goro Majima, which is another
legend
awesome character. Yeah,
legend.
So really cool. But anyway, that's enough about Yakuza. Hodge, did you have any thoughts on AC Unity, Yakuza, or XDefiant? You want to?
Well, with the AC Unity, I remember that one came out when I was still really into Assassin's Creed and playing every single one. Because I remember I don't know if I've said it on here before, but when the first Assassin's Creed got announced, I watched that gameplay reveal over and over and over because just the thought of you could just walk through these huge crowds and then just climb a building, like it's not like set points, it's just you climb. And it was just this most open world I'd ever seen. And I still love the first game. I understand it probably hasn't aged well, but I loved the first one. Brotherhood was always my favorite for the longest time until Black Flag, and then I think that's my favorite now because I liked it because it didn't take itself too seriously. Even though the games 1 through 3 and all the intermittents, that's all the story of was his name Miles or who's the guy in the modern day? What the hell is Desmond? Desmond. Yeah, I actually liked that story. Like the whole,
Animus.
I saw this meme. It was just like, how did Assassin's Creed manage to take a storyline of ancient alien civilizations being hidden through the past between two factioning wars? How they make that disinteresting? I'm like, that's kind of funny because it's like the Templars versus the Assassins and like this really cool story of for thousands of years they've been fighting over these ancient artifacts. I'm like, that's actually really cool. But then when 3 ended, the Animus parts were just like, why? You're basically just playing a guy in an office who just jumps into I'm like, what is this? Because I remember one of them, you had to sneak into an office building to steal a file I'm like, this is so stupid. Just at this point, just let me play as ancient assassins. You don't need the Animus part anymore. But yeah, I remember I was hyped for Unity because when they said it was a co-op, like a 4-player co-op game, I was like, that's awesome. I would love to do these missions with other people. But then it was so broken where they didn't have faces. They were just floating eyeballs and teeth. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? So I just stopped paying attention. And then I kind of fell off the series until Origins came out, and then I fell in love with it again because Origins was awesome. I love that game. I fell off Odyssey just because it was so long that I just and then I heard Valhalla was even longer, so I'm like,
great games, but they're definitely long.
Yeah, like the Norse setting, that is such a cool setting. I would love to play that, but hearing that it was like 60 just for the campaign, I'm like, no, I'm out.
So what? Just do it. Man up.
Yeah,
just do it.
I heard Mirage is it's okay, but I actually am kind of excited for Shadows. All this dumb bullshit controversy aside, the gameplay actually looks good. Like it looks like a very, very fun game. So I might check it out eventually. We'll see. But that's all I really have for Assassin's Creed. But as for XDefiant, I heard it was pretty fun, and since it's free, I might play it sometime just to give it a shot. Because I heard it's just kind of a Call of Duty game. So
if you want to play sometime, I'm on PlayStation.
And as you said, it's kind of old school Call of Duty vibes, which is what I want, because Call of Duty 4 is my favorite Call of Duty of all time. Like they overcomplicated them. I think if it's like just a kind of a good shooter, then that's all I want. But that's all I have for that. And then
Yakuza.
What's your other game? I forgot. Oh, Yakuza. Yeah, again, that's the same thing of, as I said, I would have to play them all to play them. So I'm never gonna like start with Infinite Wealth or anything like that. Like they look fun. My brother's played them all. He says they're awesome, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I'm entering a series with 9 games in it already. I'm just like,
I feel you.
I don't know how to do that.
I feel you.
So, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I didn't want to cut you off. Did you have more?
No, you're good.
All right. So Yakuza, I did look this up, Cog. There is one achievement, which is tied to difficulty level. Only one. You can get every other achievement, but there's one achievement where it's to beat the game on legend difficulty.
Oh, no, that's fine then. Okay, now I wasn't doing that anyway. That's fine. As long as it wasn't like, normal and,
no.
easy to stay.
Oh, yeah, like
just
beat
that
up 15
one
thugs
for
on
tryhards
mode or whatever. Yeah,
no, that's fine. That is now worthy of a ROG Ally edition to travel with on easy. Now that's worthy to not
just throw it on easy, dude, and just enjoy the story. Enjoy feeling overpowered, beating the shit out of these dudes in the streets. It's good, man. It's good times.
Dude, I've talked about this many times. I play almost all my games on journalism mode now. I don't have time to just keep dying and start levels over. Let me have fun, enjoy the story, and I'll move on. I play every game on journalism mode.
I need to do that. The problem is I come from an era where people would get mocked. Yeah. And I know it's stupid, like no one should care about this, but like they be like, yo, dude, you ain't get I come from you had to beat the Call of Duty campaign on Legendary to get respect from your gamer friends,
or Halo.
And like, oh, dude, you didn't do veteran, you didn't beat it on veteran yet. Like, what's up? And I'm like, oh, so like there was certain achievements that meant so much to me just to have them. So I gotta unprogram my infantile brain to say no one cares about that anymore and try stuff on easy. I know it's a struggle.
See,
dude, it's a game of pride in me sometimes.
I'm kind of in that same boat because if it's a game I love, I try getting the 1000 Gs. If it's a game, I want to do everything to do that game. But if I see a list where it's like beat it on this difficulty, I'm like, I'm just never going to get it because I'm not going to go back and play through it on Legendary. Like Halo, doing co-op Legendary, so much fun.
No doubt.
Trying to kill a hunter while it's destroying your very existence. I love doing that. But yeah, I've just never. That's why I don't get into Souls games because it's like everyone's just they're really hard. I'm like, I don't want to.
Bro, I'm so with you right there. That's what
I don't want to sit there and fight the same boss for 4 hours throwing my controller through the TV. Like,
I'm miserable. Yes.
like there's an accomplishment in beating, something really tough. But I'm like, if I had more time, maybe I would. But it's the thing of I'm so busy with work and everything that's like I want to get home and just enjoy the story or just drop into a game with friends. I don't want to be screaming at my wall for 4 hours. And, like, so what'd you do last night? I played the same level for 3 hours and I went to bed. Like,
make sure Dustin and Brad don't hear us now. But make sure they ain't listening to this one. Well, bro, I'm in the same boat. And listen, don't get me wrong. There is a level of achievement and accomplishment when you're pushed as a gamer. So I don't want to belittle what that experience. I know what that does. It makes you better. It's great. It's just like you said, just the stage where we are in our lives, right? That's pretty much what it is. If you have the time, knock it out, do it. If you don't, then I just don't want to be miserable all day. I don't want to throw a controller at the screen and then I must be mad and take it out on people because I haven't beaten the golden dude that came out from Elden Ring for as soon as you walked out the out the cave. Like no, I don't want that level of stress in my life. I want to be a happy person.
And it's the same thing with, like, I've talked about this before. It's the same thing with game length. Like, I love those walking sim games and stuff. Like Hellblade 2. As I said, I really liked that game. It was a 5-hour game. I loved that. Yeah. I was able to beat it in a week. Like,
talk. Let this guy right here. Let this guy. I know me and you filed for a reason.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the shorter games. I like the easier. I just I like games and I want to play as many as I can. And I'm not going to do that if I'm dying over and over.
I hear you. Yeah, it used to be with you would get shamed with those achievements because they'd be like, they would put you out on Front Street because everyone know that you didn't beat it on Veteran because you don't have the achievement, and they'd be calling you out like, oh, you beat it on easy, huh? I'm actually glad that the industry is moving away from those achievements because now you can play it on normal and not get like roasted and shamed. You know what I mean? Yes. I play most of my games on normal, but there are some games, like if it's a super long JRPG like Persona, I'm gonna play that on easy because I'm not trying to grind in a dungeon and fight the same enemies 100 times. Like I'm gonna make it easier if I can. And those old Yakuza games, because it is musty, like I said, put it on easy, and it's just a lot better that way. But
fit to me, Midnight. I like what you're saying.
Yeah, but I do want to keep it moving here. I know we're on a clock. Let's get into our next topic, which is the main topic of discussion here. Let's get into that Xbox showcase, though. So Xbox had a showcase on the 9th, which was about a week ago as we're recording this today, and it was a glorious showcase. It was real good. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. I didn't think there was much more they could do. I was so impressed, especially after that somewhat mid state of play and that really bad Jeff Keighley, whatever he was doing over there. But the Xbox showcase was fantastic. And we are going to talk about the 4 games each that we are most excited about. And we're going to go ahead and go round robin here. So let's go ahead and get into that, shall we? Let's go ahead and start with Hodge. We're going to go Hodge, Cog, Midnight. Hodge, what is your number 4 most excited, most anticipated game from the Xbox showcase, and why, sir?
Mine is going to be probably a surprise to most. Well, maybe not if you know me, but a surprise to most people because not many people are talking about this. But it's Atomfall. Ooh. It's the one that looks kind of like Atomic Heart meets Fallout. Like the gameplay, it looked all right. Like I'm not sitting there like, that blew me, like, oh fuck, it blew my mind. But the setting was enough to sell me on that game. I love that vibe of like the scientific 50s, like the Fallout before the nuclear war. Like I love that vibe. Same with like BioShock, that 50s. I don't know what it is about that, but adding like futuristic 50s is just so cool. And so just that game, it's one I need to learn more about because who knows, it might be an Atomic Heart where it's like it's a gorgeous, good looking game, but not that great to play. And so I'm hoping that's not the case, but it was such a surprise. It was a world premiere and it hadn't been shown off before. And it just it just had me like, I'm intrigued and I need to see more of this.
All right. Yeah, Atomfall. So that's not on my list. So I'll go ahead and give some bars on that. I thought it looked really cool too. It even had a little bit of Elder Scrolls vibes. There was a part where I think he was pulling out a bow and he was shooting like a skeleton looking dude. I don't know what it seems like they're kind of crossing up a couple genres and a couple games, but it looked really cool. I'm definitely interested. I think that's a Game Pass game? Did they say?
Yes, coming to Game Pass day 1. Yeah,
if that's Game Pass. I might have to fire it up and try it out because why not? Cog, is that on your list? You got anything to say about Atomfall?
Yeah, it was intriguing. I remember being in the crowd watching, like, what is this? And I remember Rebellion's name came up on the screen. I'm like, okay, little history there, but yeah, it looked cool. I just liked the part where I believe like the little robots came out and they were like malfunctioning and acting crazy, and I'm like, okay, I like that kind of stuff. So yeah, you got the little bit of scientific, but you have like, it was like a mix across genres in a way, and it had like some British countryside stuff going on. Yes, call me intrigued. So yeah, I definitely got keeping my eye on that for sure.
Yes, sir. That's what's up. I really like that you picked that, Hodge, because that's a unique game. One of my concerns, not really a concern, but a minor concern, I thought we might have a lot of the same games in here, but I like that you're coming off the top rope with something a little bit different. And
Well,
that one did look
you know
cool.
I'm always out of pocket.
I love it. I love it. That's why we got you on the podcast, man. You bring a special element. Um, all right, Lord Cognito, let's get to you. What was your number 4 game, sir?
Look, man, this was a lot of pressure on this studio coming into this showcase, but I have to say, Perfect Dark for me. I had so many questions. We didn't know what it truly was going to be, and then obviously a lot of the studio change, right, in upheaval. You know, we've heard internally the initiative started with all these like all these high end, developers who were from big projects. Then to find out, okay, they're gone, and Daryl Gallagher now has Crystal Dynamics guys coming in, which I understand there's a lot of history there, which makes sense, but it just felt weird. Like, how did you start a new studio and then all these people leave and then these people come in? So now the rumors, I think, were founded in like, hey, what's going on with this game? And to see, it shown in this way, as a person who loves stealth, like I'm a stealth guy. So now I'm getting this covert action psyops kind of thing, and just reading about it. First of all, the trailer looked amazing to me because I like the combat, the hand to hand. Also, she's jumping down on roofs, beating guys up with guns, snatching guns, doing stuff. I got a little Titanfall action when she's like doing the wall run, and I'm like, okay. But one thing that I read was like the espionage part where she's infiltrating, there's guards ahead, and then like she's doing deep fakes to do voice acting to confuse
Mhm.
them. Like, I'm like, okay, this is next level stealth stuff that I want to see in the space. And as a person who really enjoy games like Splinter Cell and stuff like that, I like future covert psyops, stealthy kind of games. And this looks like it's going to be that pocket. So I am pulling for them. I thought it showed well. And I think it bought them time for everyone to calm down. Because I always tell people this: Daryl Gallagher is a legend, man. We have to put respect on his name. The games that he is responsible for and the Tomb Raiders and things of that nature, like as far as the reboots and stuff like that, those are games I loved dearly. So I thought they really showed well. And I'm super excited to see where Perfect Dark goes. But yeah, shout out to them. That was one that I had a lot of question marks, and I came away like, okay, y'all cooking. I like what y'all got going there conceptually.
Yes, sir. That's a good one. Have you had Daryl Gallagher on ILP yet?
I'm working on it.
You should. You should. That'd be awesome, man. I would tune in. Well, I tune in a lot anyway, but I would tune in. I want to see him talk about Perfect Dark.
Absolutely. He's very elusive. I've not seen him out in public, but I'm working on it. Trust me. I've been singing his praises for a long time. And he's kind of like the unicorn for me. One of my unicorns that I was able to get, obviously, was Peter Moore in the past. And the second one
I heard
was
that.
as a
That was good.
person, thank you, and a person who loves turn-based games. Jake Solomon was always, I used to sing his praises. So like, he just like hit me up like not that long ago, like, bro, I really enjoyed, our interview and stuff like that. And I'll get him back in the room because
Ooh.
he's doing stuff in this space too.
Okay.
No, please.
This is out of pocket.
Let's go. Let's
But
go.
I would love. You should try to get Mark Dara on.
We
You should reach out
have
to Mark. You've had him on.
Mark Dara
I
has been
missed
in the
that.
realm of the Dukes. When Duke Ultimate existed.
What?
Yes,
How did I
yeah.
miss that?
Shout out to Maddie. Maddie pulled it off. One of my heroes. Yes, we old Duke Ultimate. I'll get you. We'll talk about it. I'll get you the link. Yeah,
Okay.
we pull. And the cool thing about him is he's so down. He has his own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I saw he's got a YouTube channel.
Bro, he drops gems on game development. Like, if
Mhm.
you're trying to get in the industry, he's excellent. So, and I believe he went back to Bioware and he's helping
Yep.
them with Veilguard.
Dragon
So
Age. Yep.
yeah. So salute to them. Yeah. That's huge guy. Love
Okay.
Dara.
That's why I was going to recommend to him, because I was like, you guys can definitely get him because he seems so humble and down to earth on his YouTube and stuff. Okay, I must have missed that Duke episode. I'll have to check that out. But I'm hyped about Dragon Age. But we'll get to that. Hodge, do you have any thoughts about Perfect Dark, or
Yeah,
we can talk about it
so
later, maybe?
no, it's not on my list, but it was an honorable mention. It barely missed my list, but because I've never played Perfect Dark, I never had an original Xbox, so I know there were 360 games also, but it was just never a series I got into. But when they announced that it was coming back and had that one like CGI trailer, it's like that actually looks intriguing. Like, I'm interested in what this is, setting like kind of doing that world building, but then if they had came to this showcase with just another CG trailer, I would have believed that, oh, this shit is in trouble. Like,
Yeah.
you're coming back after all this time with just a CG trailer, but they had gameplay and it looked really fun. And I am actually very excited for it. And I love stealth games. The greatest stealth game of all time, Sly Cooper. But I love the Splinter
out
Cell
Sucker
games.
Punch.
I played every single one of them. They're so awesome. So I'm always down for more stealth. And so if that's kind of what this is, more stealth, if it's a stealth action game, yeah, the gameplay, it didn't look like amazing, but it looked very, very good. And I'm excited to see more and definitely excited to play it.
Hell yeah. I'm excited about that. I was not expecting to see Perfect Dark because we've heard countlessly about how this game is in like the 7th layer of development hell. We've heard this game is so troubled. So I was not expecting to see Perfect Dark at all. And I damn sure wasn't expecting to see gameplay. So when they came out there with gameplay and it actually looked good, I was excited. I'm like, because I'm a big Crystal Dynamics fan. I've long been saying, I have long been saying that I wish Xbox would buy Crystal Dynamics because
Yes.
they are just so talented. I feel like they are a studio that could give us that hashtag just one cog.
Talk to me. You're
They
preaching now.
they made those Tomb Raider reboots that were fire. They really could deliver it. So I was impressed, man. Like when she pulls out that gun and she shoots that dude and it does like the little lightning stun spark all up on him. And then she's KOing dudes. They got little bit of parkour, kind of like what was those ODA games, the parkour games?
Titanfall joints.
Like when you're running on the roofs.
Are you talking like Titanfall or the which one you talking about? Oh, you mean Mirror's Edge?
Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
It has some Mirror's Edge vibes with the parkour.
Yes. Good call.
I was impressed. I want to see more. I'm looking forward to it. I noticed they didn't put a date on it. So that tells me that it is still probably 2026 type stuff, but that's fine. Take your time, cook. I will be there. I'm sold. I'm excited. So that was a good pick. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. I think it's my turn. We're up to number 4. My number 4, and this is going to be the only one that I have that's really kind of, a surprise maybe was that Claire whatever's Expedition 33. That game, they came out, they had what's his name, they had the dude Clive from Final Fantasy 16 voice actor, what was his name, Ben Starr or something like that. Yeah, dude, awesome voice actor. So he's doing the voiceover. You got a pretty awesome visuals, a really cool setting. But what really got me on there was it looked like it's a nice turn-based combat. I really liked the turn-based combat, the visuals, the pop combos going on. I really like what they're cooking there. It sounds really interesting. And I wasn't expecting it all. I'd never heard of this game. It was nothing that I even knew that I wanted. But they surprised me. They got me. I'm going to be playing that game. It looked really cool. So Expedition 33, that was my number 4 pick. You guys got any thoughts on that or?
On my list too.
Okay, so you'll get to that.
I'll get to that.
All right, then. Yeah, I'll go then. So this game, yeah, it came out of nowhere. I was blown away. This fucking Persona 1886 looking game. Just like at first when it showed the turn-based, I was kind of a little disappointed because I'm not a huge turn-based guy. But the more they showed, I was like, this game looks awesome, actually. And so it kind of sold me as it went on. And it's definitely a game. Yeah, it's not on my list, but it is one that I will definitely try. Especially, that's the great thing about watching these Xbox showcases is basically every game they show. It's like, you can play this with Game Pass. So there's like, it's one of those things like if it wasn't a normal showcase, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'll pick it up on Black Friday if it gets good reviews. But when it's on Game Pass, you're like, yeah, I'm going to try it because I have access to it. And so, yeah, the whole setting was awesome. Like I made
Really
the
cool.
joke of 1886. It had that, I love that like steampunk kind of vibe. It looks so cool. And yeah, I'm stoked for this one. I'm definitely going to play it when it comes out.
Yes, sir. I feel like with your transition into a new life and a new job, Hodge, turn-based may be something that starts to be a bit more up your alley, maybe because you know you got the ROG Ally. It's perfect ROG Ally type game, and as someone who has limited gaming time, yeah, that's a game that you can casually play, jump in, jump out. You can set it down and look at your phone while you're in between turns. So who knows? Maybe Hodge will turn into turn-based gamer one day. We'll see.
Yeah.
But Expedition 33 looked awesome. All right, let's go ahead and keep it moving here. We got Hodge. What was your number 3 pick, my friend?
Didn't Cog go first, or was I first? I don't know. Oh yeah, no, I was first. I'm dumb. All right, yeah, it's me. My next game is, I had to put it on my list because it's a return to something I used to love, and that's Black Ops 6. Because I've been off of the Call of Duty train for almost a decade at this point. I never played Advanced Warfare. I never played World War II. I only played Infinite Warfare because I bought it so I could play Call of Duty 4 remastered, and I hated it. Like I've been over Call of Duty I played Vanguard because my friends all owned it and they wanted me to play it. I played Cold War because it was a launch title and I wanted a next gen game. But other than that, I've just never cared. I mean, I played the reboot of Modern Warfare because I had to try it out, and it was good, but it wasn't the original Modern Warfare. And so I just stopped caring about Call of Duty. It just wasn't a series I cared about anymore. But when this one showed up, it looks amazing. Like, it's the first Call of Duty I've seen since, I don't know, the reveal of Modern Warfare 3 back in the early or mid 2000s or early 2010s, whatever it was. Like, that's the last time I've been like, oh, hell yeah, can't wait for November or October or whatever. Like, this is the first one where adding that, Omni turn or whatever it's called, basically what they have in Helldivers.
Yeah.
That it's such a fluid way to play a game. And yeah, it looks, the campaign, I can't honestly pretend to care about. I haven't cared about a Call of Duty campaign since Black Ops 1 or Modern Warfare, whichever one came, later. And so I don't really care about that, but the zombies and the online both look so much fun, and I'm so stoked for those. And so I'm actually, it's a weird feeling actually being excited for a Call of Duty coming out. Like, I haven't been genuinely excited. Like, I've had like, maybe I'll try it, but now it's like, and especially that on Game Pass again, like, I don't even have to buy it. I'm already subscribed to it, so I can hop right into Call of Duty, and I'm stoked to play this. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I say literally mirror my thoughts exactly. It's I used to be the Call of Duty guy back in the day, and the biggest ones for me obviously were the Modern Warfare series, Infinity War, and stuff like that. But I remember when the Black Ops series came out as that nice change of pace and the pick 10 system, and then they added zombies and things of that nature. But to your point, look, I got to be honest. Coming into this, yes, we know Call of Duty's coming. It's going to be Game Pass. It's a big get. But there's a part of me like, well, I'm probably going to be bored during that direct whenever they get to it. But when they were absolutely cooking on every single aspect of the gameplay that they were going to improve. And like you said, the omnidirectional movement. I'm talking about like also the articulation as far as when you get shot in each body part, they added all these different points of contact with the way the ragdoll and stuff looks. Campaign, to me, they've always been these like summer blockbuster movie style, over the top. As a person who likes the series 24 with Kiefer Sutherland, like it's awesome, the blockbuster, everything's going on kind of energy, and I just like it. It looked good, it really did. And to your point, them bringing the zombies aspect, bringing that back. We still didn't even talk about, they didn't go in depth yet with the full multiplayer, which they're going to do. And then obviously Warzone is another component of what they do. So this is going to be a complete package. And let's be real, this thing is a looker. It looked impressive. I like the 3 narrative characters. I had a guy in the wheelchair who's, commanding stuff. And then they had like the brother who's like, basically it was like, the government's turned on itself kind of energy, and you're doing the covert, and then obviously you got your presidential stuff going on, you know what I'm saying, seeing the historical figures from the time. So they're touching a lot of beats for me, and it looks good. So I'm like, damn, I might be back in. And like Maddie brought out to my attention, I didn't know I would play Call of Duty. I didn't know Prestige was gone from multiplayer.
Same. I had no idea.
I'm like, why did they do that? That was a thing. Like, I remember we raced home and dudes be bragging about who Prestige first, and you put your little banner up against everybody else, or your little emblem that you did it. So I'm like, damn, they got me, man. It was a thing.
Yep.
I was gonna say, back in the old, in COD 4, I was a 55 gold cross, the 10th prestige. Having that thing next to your name was a point of pride.
That was a rite of passage. You looked at hard, you're like, oh, he's one of those dudes. Like, he did that. Yeah,
55
that's what I come from.
Cross, man. Yeah, so I was excited, and the fact that they're like, and it goes up to 1,000. I'm like, what the? All right, well, now you got something to grind for, I guess. Like, that's crazy.
But with getting our card on, bro.
Yeah, but I didn't even think of it. I forgot to say this with the campaign. As much as I don't really care about it, I like that it's not just like you're going to war torn, whatever. It's like kind of the bank heist kind of thing. Like it does look cool. I just don't care about as much as multiplayer because that's where most of my time goes.
Fair.
But it is a campaign I probably will play because it is so different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really the multiplayer and zombies is what I'm kind of excited for. The story, I can't say I'm excited for the story. I just like that it's something new that they're trying.
Fair enough. Midnight, you in?
Yeah, so Call of Duty, I am in. This would be the first time I really get into a Call of Duty since like Black Ops 4. I kind of fell off. I got sick of the modern CODs. It's just like I said, it's too sweaty. The multiplayer is too damn sweaty for me. I'm too old for this shit. But Black Ops 6, I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna play with my friends. We're gonna have some fun. I bought this recently here. I got this the DualSense Edge controller with the fancy with the little paddles back there.
Nice.
Yes,
I
sir.
love those.
The trigger stops.
Make sure you get them trigger on half so you get the advantage on them young kids. So you get.
I got it on all the way, so it barely goes down at all.
That's what I do in Destiny. Make sure I keep my edge.
Yes, sir.
That's how I have it on my Elite. My Elite
controller.
Trigger pull.
Yep. Half trigger pull.
That trigger pull. Yeah, I got it when Vanguard was out. My KD went from 0.8 to 1.3 because
it's a difference.
Having that short trigger.
Nice.
It's insane.
Absolutely.
It's really good. So yeah, Black Ops 6, I'm definitely going to try it. I'm not expecting that I'm going to love it though, because I feel like the two main problems that I always have are still going to be there. The two main problems are the chaotic ass maps where it's hard to see people and there's so many flank routes. So you just get shot in the back and the side a lot. And then of course, SBMM, it's going to be sweaty, especially it really hits me because I play with dudes who are much better than me. Like my boys are really good. Like I'm like around at my peak, I'm around like a 2 KD player, which is good. It's decent. But like my boys that I play with are like 4 KD players. So I'm playing against people around their skill level. And let me tell you, sometimes it's not that fun.
I feel you, not to interrupt, but I will say the thing that intrigued me, because me and you in the same pocket there, Midnight, they call it like the role system. And they had like, okay, you can do support if you don't want to be the super sweaty person. Like they had like these different kind of archetypes. And I thought that was very interesting. So I'm going to actually look into that since I am not the top KD person on my team and see if I can kind of merge into one of these new roles that I think it was like 3 roles they mentioned when it came to multiplayer stuff like that. That sounds at least intriguing to me.
I like that. So I'll be there. I'll be checking it out for sure. All right. So that was... Who went? Hodge. That was Hodge. Number 3 was Black Ops 6. Good pick. Cog, what is your number 3?
We're going to circle back to Midnight's pick, man. Expeditions 33. One of the worst names ever. Claire, whatever the hell. Worst name ever. I don't know why y'all named that game that. But, bro, I'm sitting there. I'm in the theater because we're at the showcase, sitting there, King Davis with me. And this trailer comes up, and it was like almost like some French painting kind of thing. And I'm like, all right. Graphic look absolutely phenomenal. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is a hashtag just one third person over the shoulder adventure game. And I'm like, oh, it looks beautiful. But it was something when it switched and it went to that turn-based, like I was talking about, and I'm just like, hey, yo, what is this? And I actually like the narrative. It was like almost like some painter is controlling the universe and these beings have to stop this thing from happening. And yeah, it was like a painter's cycle of death is what I'm reading from the description right now. And bro, it's unique. It's beautiful. It gave me like what I kind of want Final Fantasy to kind of get back to. And it blew my mind. I remember like nudging King. I'm like, yo, at this point of the show, even though what we seen was amazing, Doom, all this other crazy stuff, I'm like, this is the best looking thing right now. In my opinion, at that moment, I was just like, bro, who are these guys? I was like researching, like, I think it was like Sandfall Entertainment. I'm like, what the hell are you? Like, you guys got the best looking thing I've ever seen. So I am in. And the fact that I got a Game Pass, that's a game that I'm like, okay, they could have, been strong enough to say, hey, not that they're strong enough that you're weak to take it a bag. But I was surprised that Xbox was able to secure a high quality JRPG style game like this. So I am very much interested. I am in 33 Expeditions. Very, very impressive.
Yes, sir. All right. We already talked about that, but definitely I'm right there with you. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And I think it was really cool that they got Ben Starr or whatever his name is, because dude's got an iconic voice, especially after 16. So immediately when people heard him, they was hooked. That was smart. That was good.
Absolutely.
And then they got the visuals. They got dude with like his chick right there, and all of a sudden she turns into like ashes and fades away.
Yes.
And I don't know what's going on, but I am intrigued. They got me.
Yeah, it's like a cycle of death that they're trying to prevent. I don't know if they're being painted. It's a very cool, interesting mystery the way they're doing this story.
Yeah, it kind of had like, what was that recent game? Was it Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden, or whatever game? It kind of had those vibes a little bit. I like that. All right, let me go ahead and get into my number 3, and we are getting to the point where it's not going to be super unexpected. I got some big names coming up. So at number 3, we have the next game from my third favorite studio of all time, one of COG's favorite studios of all time. Of course, I'm talking about the Black Rock. We got Avowed. Avowed was in the building. They had another trailer. I can't wait for this game. It is looking good. Ooh, it was looking good. They had the graphics was looking good. The environments were looking good. They had a scene where, because you're like a godlike or whatever race, they had a scene where the dude was coming into the camera with like these weird like things like coming out of their face, like little coral elements and flower elements and stuff. It was just sick. And then they had like all these like little medieval like arrow launchers firing, and I just can't wait. I know the narrative is going to be on point. I know the choice and consequence is going to be there. The very first thing they said in the first big reveal trailer, he was like, you're either here to save us or destroy us. So that tells me right there, you're going to be able to play it at least twice. You could be the good guy, you could be the bad guy, see what's going to happen, see where it goes. The magic is looking amazing. You could throw out black holes and suck the enemies up in it. You could freeze them. You can break them apart after they're frozen. They got the blood. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait. No romance in the game, I found out, unfortunately, so that's a bit of an L. I don't know what Obsidian has against romance, but it's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker.
Freak on, man.
They got to let us get our freak on. It's a role-playing game, man. I can save the earth, but I can't get no love. What's up? But it's okay, though. I love Obsidian. Shout out to the Black Rock. I can't wait for Avowed. I will be there day one, and I'll tell you what, too. I mentioned this before when we did our episode where we was talking about studios shutting down. They are not touching my damn Obsidian. I swear to God, I'm going to be buying that game. I'm a Game Pass sub, but I am buying Avowed. I am spending the $60, $70. I am supporting the Black Rock. I am supporting Microsoft. If you are a big Obsidian fan, or if you're a big whatever fan, buy the games, people. Make sure that Microsoft gets that money, and make sure that our studios stay in business. Okay. But all right. So that was my pick, Avowed. Anybody got thoughts on Avowed? Or it's probably coming up later for some of y'all, I imagine.
I got thoughts on Avowed. Now, actually, this is how stacked this showcase is. That the Black Rock for me wasn't able to make my list. That should tell. I know, sacrilegious. I love that. That's how great the showcase was. Because in my mind, it was like, man, you reassured everyone what they needed to see. I thought the UE5 glow up was really nice. I see, shout out to the coalition, seem to be helping a lot of people out. And I thought that was fine. I thought also one of my only detractors from the earlier showing prior to this one was the impact on the hits. And here's the thing, Midnight. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the deep dive with Carrie Patel after the showcase. Bro, I'm like, damn, why y'all didn't put this in the showcase? Like, this is even more impressive stuff. Like those little toadstool enemies and rocking them upside the head. And the cool thing about Obsidian games, like you said, now that we've gotten the graphical part out the way and the magic, how cool things look, right? And that the hues, the purple, the dark, lighting and skyboxes of the living lands. The things that I like is they show more of the classic Obsidian tropes with the choices and the skill checks, and then attacking an area head on, and then all doing it stealthily and stuff like that. So the deep dive was even better. So it goes to show you how stacked the showcase was, that these studios didn't even have enough time based on the amount of games that Xbox had to really even showcase even more. So yes, I am there, Avowed all day, every day. We'll see if that release date, sticks. There was a leaked release date. We'll see, but they got to be careful though. That's my only fear. I'm going to pick it up day one regardless. My only fear is if the leaked release date is true, which is November 12th, November 15th, it's gonna be a little spooky around that time. I don't know if you know about that. It's that Shadows. Shadows supposed to be a Black Rock, please. I mean, maybe they don't need to stay away. It's in Game Pass, but I want the game to succeed as much as possible. And the way Shadows was looking, I just don't want that overlap with two great games right next to each other. You know, I hate that sometimes, but we'll see. Sometimes it's situations you can't control.
Yeah, they might want to move their date.
I
don't know. Yeah, like Shadows is a big game.
I want no smoke with Yasuke, and stay away from Assassin. That's one of those franchises.
It's a similar enough game, right? It's an RPG like game, so I think there's going to be crossover with the players. I think it might be smart to move their date a little bit, maybe come out like 3 weeks after Shadows or something. Like try to find a window.
Yeah,
because
the games don't. I don't think the time of year matters anymore, because we've had all these bangers come out in like March, which used to be a dead zone. Like, you can put it out in December and people are still gonna love it and play it. Like, especially with it being Game Pass, you already have your 30 million people built into it or whatever. Like, really, I don't know, just release December. But I didn't include this on my list because I knew you'd include it on yours. So. But as we've discussed before, this game looks awesome, and it looked even better this game. I actually didn't watch that deep dive, so I'm gonna have to go and watch that later. But
that's good.
What they showed, it looked better than it looked before, and I'm so, like I've said before, it's hard for me to get into a fantasy game. Like, I've always been like, in terms of Bethesda, I've always liked Fallout over Elder Scrolls, and so it's hard for me to get into a fantasy game. And so this one, I'm just blown away by it. I mean, I loved Outer Worlds too, so I knew with it being Obsidian, I'd like it anyway. But yeah, this trailer, it really was like, I'm definitely excited for this one.
Obsidian does not make bad games. They don't.
No.
They've never made a bad game, in my opinion. And that's why I didn't get, like, when they first came out and people saw the art direction changed, all of a sudden people were dooming. They're like, oh, this game's going to suck. What is this shit? It's not Skyrim. And I'm like, bro, you're doubting Obsidian?
Exactly.
Yeah. Tell me a time when Obsidian released a bad game. I'll wait.
We're
gonna be here all day because they haven't.
They've been carrying Xbox on their back during this series generation. So I'm with you there. I'm with you.
All right, let's go ahead and keep it moving here. Let's go number 2, Hodge. It's you, sir.
My number 2 is Flintlock.
Ooh,
I am so excited for this one. It has that kind of Souls-like-ish combat, which I'm not the biggest on, but the whole just setting of this game really blows me away. When they showed it was either last year or the year before is when they first showed it at their showcase. I was already sold on it, and it just looks even better now. And I don't know. I'm excited. The internet's trying to make me not excited because I don't know. Apparently, Sweet Baby Inc. had something to do with this game, but I don't give a shit. It looks awesome.
I don't care.
Yeah, they also had something to do with Alan Wake 2, and that's one of my favorite games of all time. So they can shut the hell up. But I honestly thought that this game was in danger when I think it was at least 2 years ago, because I remember it didn't show up the year after, and I was like, oh fuck, what happened? Like we hadn't heard about this game since they last showed it at a showcase. So I was like, oh crap, is this one in danger? But nope, it came out and it looks awesome. I'm so excited to play this one.
Yes, sir. So I'll get into Flintlock a little bit. So Flintlock does look good. I think that's another one that I'll probably play. I remember when they revealed it 2 years ago or whatever, it looked awesome, and I was hype. I was like, oh, this is coming to Game Pass. This looks sick. I'll be playing that. And then they kind of went quiet. They disappeared for a while. They've been cooking. Apparently, it looked really good. I think it's awesome. I will be there. I don't care that it's a Sweet Baby Inc. game. That doesn't bother me, especially since this doesn't even seem like it's like a huge narrative game. It's you're there for the gameplay, it looked like, and the world. So who cares? I'm not going to let drama influence me. I will be playing Flintlock. I thought the gameplay looked good. I thought the characters and the cast looked good, and I'm going to be there. So, Todd, you got any thoughts about Flintlock? And then afterwards, if you want to jump into your number 2.
Yeah, me and you the same, but I'm in the same boat. I remember it looked very interesting, very intrigued. I like the little animal companion thing. And then what they did in the trailer was kind of some type of traversal with the animal where they going, she was shooting through things. I was like, all right, this looks really cool. I didn't see that aspect in the game before. So yes, I am in. I believe there's a demo out right now. I believe so. So I'm gonna listen, I'm in, regardless to what I like what I'm saying. And again, I don't allow controversies and all that other stuff to stop
Mhm.
my gameplay. Because at the end of the day, remember, there's developers that are making these games that are passionate, and I'm here to support the developers. All that extracurricular stuff, people tend to say these very, very statements that are very huge and broad stroking. And then what ends up happening is you get into painting yourself in the corner, because if you stand on it, you realize half the industry has a lot of these things that you claim that you're not against. So we'll see. But as far
Yeah.
as Flintlock, yes, I am in. And yeah, for number two, this was tough. This was tough because I had to narrow down between a lot of my children. um, yeah, two, I have to say, I didn't expect them to return to the showcase because I felt they had a great showcase last year. But I have to put respect on Playground's name. Fable, oh my God, again. And the reason why I have to put respect on it is because I was already convinced. I was last year, I was convinced. I was like, okay, cool. They had the British actor, whatever. And I saw the engine and I'm like, ooh, this looks good, right? Gave me a brief glimpse, but I heard they were going through it. I heard the internets were like, that's not real and all this stuff. And they were like, oh, really? So to me, this was the slap everybody across the face. We are here, and not only are we the makers of Forza, we may be able to pull off a fantastic action RPG and show the essence of Fable. So I loved it. I love this this new British actor kind of telling the story from that perspective. I like seeing a little bit more combat sequences. I like seeing the act like her in a town with NPCs and that classic Fable feel. And then Fable's kind of about, the choices you make and, how that will affect your gameplay decisions. I thought it's a stunner. It was to the point where I'm like, if Playground keeps this up, and I know this is gonna sound sacrilegious, Midnight, but if Playground keeps this up, as far as Xbox game studios are concerned, we got to start putting them in that hierarchy. This was that kind of a showing to me. This engine looks phenomenal. It really does. So yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. And then I believe they even put a date now. I mean, a year. So they're like, oh no, we're coming next year. So they have now established 2025 is one of, again, it's going to look stacked now for Game Pass and Xbox going into with this roadmap. So yeah, I am in. Playground Games, Fable, absolutely phenomenal showing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hodge, you have thoughts on Fable?
Yeah, this is so I knew that what I'd seen last year, like you said. But seeing this year where it actually kind of showed, because they had very brief like snippets of her kind of running through like the giants like room or whatever. This one had a little more for just kind of slowly walking through the town. And actually the part that really got me like, oh, they cooking, is where when it kind of shows her talking to the NPCs and there's the one lady who goes like, and like the facial animations were so good when she
On
did
point.
that I was just like, oh my god, I forgot that, because this is the studio that makes photorealistic car racing games. That I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm surprised that I see these graphics being this freaking good. And yeah, the gameplay, it just looks fun. Again, I was never a huge Fable person like before this, but I am so sold on this game. It looks so much fun, and I love the humor, the very British humor. It's just so dry, and I love it so much. So yeah, I'm so stoked for this game. I can't wait.
Yes, sir. I absolutely agree with you, and I totally agree with you as well, Cog, about them moving up to the upper echelon because you got to give them their flowers. They deserve it. They are up
Mm-hmm.
there. And let's go ahead and talk about Fable, because my number two game of the showcase, it's my turn. I'm pretty sure it
Mm-hmm.
is also Fable from Playground Games. I was absolutely blown away. Shout out to Playground Games. They are killing it with this game for what we've seen so far. The British humor is on point. The Fable vibes is exactly what you want. This feels like classic old school Fable. Like they really nailed it. Playground is a super talented studio. They are based in the UK. They are in. I just looked. They're in Leamington Spa, England. I like that because Fable has always been a British humor, British type game. So we got a British studio, extremely talented. Forza Horizon 5, one of the best Xbox games ever. That game is just beautiful, beautiful polish and everything. So I think they're killing it. The vibes, the humor was there. They showed a couple snippets of combat and gameplay. They showed her walking through the city and it looked gorgeous. They showed the little moments where the crowd is interacting with you, like they're roasting you or they're worshiping you. And I love it. I'm there day one. Fable is going to be amazing. It's going to be 10 out of 10. It's going to be game of the year. I'm hyping it up. I cannot wait. Fable is one of my most anticipated games out there, period, bar none. And one concern that I actually had, I kind of jokingly in a Discord, I made a joke. I was like, because Xbox, they have I love Xbox, but they have a habit of kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit, right? So I made a joke. I was like, Fable looks so great. I was like, watch them come out and be like, it's a 7-hour game or something. I'll be upset. But I have a little inside source. I got a friend. I got a friend who does a little talent stuff, and he is familiar with some people who are working on the Fable game. And he assured me that based on the number of voice lines that they're doing for Fable, he definitely does not think this is going to be a short game. Apparently there is a lot of voice acting and stuff in this game, which leads you to believe that it's going to be more sizable. I hope so, because that's the only thing that they could do that would bring me down a bit if they're like, oh, it's a 7-hour game. Because I want a 20-hour game. Playground. I want to live there, and I want it to be replayable like the old school Fables, and I bet it will. You can have the good playthrough, and then you can have the evil playthrough where you just murdering people, get them devil horns popping. But yeah, shout out to Fable. I really cannot wait for that game. I'm the RPG gamer. That's right up my alley. I love the original Fable 1, 2, and 3. All three were fantastic. Even the third one was good. So that was my number 2 pick, Fable. We all sounded off on that. So let's go ahead and jump to the next one. I believe we are up to Hodge with your number 1 game of the showcase. Hit it.
Yeah, my number 1 is South of Midnight. I have been this is almost out of blind just hope, just a little hopium I'm inhaling, because when they showed off We Happy Few, I was sold immediately on that world, and I was wanting to I wanted that game to be more than what it ended up being. And as many people have said, now that they're owned by Xbox, they have that budget, they can do what they need. And as I've said before, I'm the animation nerd. I wanted to be an animator forever. So seeing this like stop motion looking animation is so cool. And this world, like this southern bayou, but it's fantastical, this bayou setting. It's so cool, and I've never seen a game in this setting except GTA 6 will have some bayou swamp stuff, but that's about it. Like, you don't get that stuff. And so seeing this game and seeing the gameplay finally, and because when it started with she just riding on like the catfish guy, I was like, oh, it's just gonna be another CGI trailer, really. And then it cuts to the gameplay, and it played so well. And it managed to kind of keep that stop motion look, but be fluid at the same time. I don't know how they accomplished that, but they did. And it looks so awesome. Like, I can't say enough good. So I'm just rooting for Compulsion to hit what I think they have, that talent. I just feel like We Happy Few, I don't know what it was. Something fell short where it just didn't live up to what it could have been. And so I think that this game really can live up to their talent. And so I'm just so stoked to play this game. It's definitely the number 1 show game of that show that I'm excited to dive into. Definitely.
Nice. Yeah, man. I mean, what a pleasant surprise. I'm same as you, Hodge. I came into it, I'm like, all right, we had an idea of the feel, the first trailer from last year, but this year she's on the catfish. I'm like, all right. The thing that I liked off the top is I like when I get different regions, sounds, cultures, whatever, right? So I'm hearing the southern twangs and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm in. Like, I like, because we don't hear it a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, catfish, trifle ass, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I see what we doing. But it's like you said, it's not until she got off and she's actually running in the world when I was like, okay, this looks cool. And for me, it was the traversal, being able to glide on this kind of like a hang glider kind of thing, being able to shoot and traverse forward and pull herself towards combat and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. And Hodge, exactly what you said. Like, my only concern when I first saw it the first time was like, okay, the stop motion stuff was a little jarring at first because I've never really seen games attempt that. But now that I understand this is the design choice that they're going for, now it's resonating with me and it's feeling good. And I'm like, okay, I get it now. There's no frame rate issue here. Like, I thought there was something wrong with the game at first.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, this is a design choice. This is what we're doing. Once I got over my own foolishness, then I'm like, all right, cool. This is, yeah. So I'm pulling for them. I thought it really showed well. A lot of people have it number one, just like you, Hodge. A lot of people I'm surprised how many people were really blown away by it. So yeah, salute to the Compulsion. I'm pulling for them. I think they got a lot of talent. Now, hopefully this is the game that really puts it all together and they just nail this thing. If they nail it, man, they could have something special.
Oh yeah. South of Midnight. That's a great pick. That was in my honorable mentions list. South of Midnight. First of all, I am Midnight, so this game is for me. But honestly, I was not at all feeling the game they did before We Happy Few. I love the vibes, and I love like the cool little, ooh, we're on drugs. What's going on? It's crazy.
You don't want more joy?
But that game wasn't doing it for me. When I tried to play it, I was like, this is musty. I'm not liking this, right? But so I went from being a detractor on South of Midnight. I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. I wasn't feeling their last game. I mean, this is cool. Like the Bayou stuff is cool, but I mean, I don't know if I care. But they got me. I'm a promoter now. I saw this. I was loving it. I was loving the music. The music was hitting during that boss fight, and afterwards, it was really good, like soulful, like kind of jazzy music. I really like that. I like the Bayou energy. I like the different cultures, like you said. This is something that we don't see much in gaming, and I'm really excited to be there. And I really love the gameplay, the traversal. She's whipping it and like flying to the poles. She's got the little she's flying like on the little kite thing with the wind, and like the combat was giving me real Kenna vibes, like Kenna Bridge of Spirits kind of vibes.
I was going to say that.
So it's like Louisiana Kenna, and I was like, man, this looks really good. And they had some humor too, like the back and forth quirks between her and like the big fish dude. They just nailed it, man. It felt good. So I'm 100% sold. Like I said, I went from a detractor to a promoter, and I'm going to be there. Shout out to Compulsion. I think that game looks absolutely fantastic. So that was South of Midnight. Great pick, Hodge. Next up, we have Lord Cognito. What is your number one pick, sir?
It's time to get the grown man tears out. It's time. It's time, y'all. I don't cry a lot in these damn showcases. It's been few.
I think I know what's coming.
This is one of them. This was one of them. I'm a 360 guy. So, for me, people have to realize peak 360 to a lot of people is Gears of War. And, I'm very blessed and fortunate to have, the legend Cliffy B on ILP. And, I remember talking to him and he's just like, man, he said, no disrespect to 4 or 5. I just miss the heart of the games we told. I miss the horror nature of the games we made. And he kind of lambasted them a little bit. He was just like, if for those who didn't play, I'm not going to spoil, but Gears 5 at the end, there's a choice that has to be made and it kind of ends on a cliffhanger. And he's like, Cog, we made those choices in our games. You know what I mean? So to see the rumors, right? To hear about the rumors coming in, and you're watching this show, and it's an amazing showcase. And then I believe at that point, Sarah Bond comes up, and she's doing the whole recap of all the games that you've previously seen. So I'm like, all right, it's not going to happen. The internet's wrong again, or whatever. And to hear her say, we have one more thing. Xbox doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Xbox normally misses the moment. They never have a nostalgic feel moment. This was such to the heartstrings and the hardcore to see a young Marcus Phoenix battling with the locusts in a tight spot. You could tell he's wet behind the ears. He's inexperienced. He's getting his head smashed in, thrown around, desperation. He finally kills you. You see the gore up into the sea, right? You see the gore. He survives, good old chainsaw gun doing what he do. And the floor breaks. And then for me, when I seen the hand and the pull up, I'm in the audience. Like, first of all, there's a pin drop. Then the interlude from Mad World, the song. People don't understand the iconic nature of that song. When Gears of War was debuted for the 360, the reason why it hit so hard because we never seen video game trailers play music and do all these things like it's a movie, right? So that trailer, getting that snippet into this trailer and hearing the Mad World grown men were crying in this thing. I'm looking next to everybody. We're like, yeah. This is for us. like, bro, I've said this on Duke, and I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. If you came into Gears of War, like around 4 and 5, and you think those are the greatest, God bless, that's you. But the hardcore Gears fans, we do not feel that way. This is the Gears we want. Emergence Day, the times before, what happened leading up to all of that, the great pendulum wars, all that good stuff. And when we seen Dom, it just brought it all back, and that thing looked phenomenal. And shout out to Coalition standing on business when people try to say, oh, this is just a blur CG trailer. It's not. No, brother. We're doing in-game assets. This is us. Like they stood on their work. They were not happy with Jeff Keighley for whatever reason. I've never seen developers in unison say, don't you dare try to CG us our work. This is representation of in-game stuff. So look, I'm bloviating, but it really hit on so many levels for me. I can't wait to get back in the universe. And last thing, this is for Hodge, because he's a completionist guy, right? The reason why it's going to be dope is I'm also a Gears Tactics fan, right? And Gears Tactics is one of the best tactic stories. It's very easy to get into, and I challenge people. The graphics in Gears Tactics actually rival Gears 5 when it comes to telling a story in cinematics. And they talk about the story of Gabe Diaz, which was 10 years before Gears of War 1. So there's a chance that my worlds could merge in Emergence Day and all this great universe that they're building. So I'm good. I hope they stay here forever. I don't care if they take their time with the Kate story. It's fine. We got Kate's dad, hopefully, and we got Tom, and we got the crew. I'm here. The gang's back together. That's how I look at it. So Gears of War Emergence Day. This is probably one of the greatest showcases for me because of this one moment. Literally could arguably make it a 10. That's how great a moment was for me.
All right. Fantastic pick. Hodge, any thoughts on Gears of War?
Yeah, see, I was stoked for this one because after 3, I honestly just kind of fell off the series. I played part of 4 and I never touched 5. It's not I hear they're great games and I definitely will play them, especially before this. As I said, I'm the person who has to play everything before getting to it. But the 1 through 3, because I remember back in the day, in the 360 days, it wasn't like Call of Duty versus Destiny. It was, are you a Halo or Gears guy on Xbox? That's what it was. It was the fight of what is better. Eventually it became Halo or Call of Duty for shooters. But for 360, it was, are you a Halo or a Gears guy? And Gears was a thing back in the day. And with 4 and 5, it was just kind of the way, this is my personal feeling towards it, of when those ones were announced, it felt to me like, even though, yes, they are good games according to people, it felt to me like it was kind of no, seriously, we still have exclusives. Like, that's kind of how the games felt to me. It was like people kind of overhyped them to be like, no, Xbox has games. It's like yes, I know they have games and Xbox still has great series, but it ended at 3. Like, this continuation, it's cool. You want this world to grow. It's the same with Halo Infinite. I still like Infinite. I even like 4. And but it ended at 3, and now you're just kind of trying to continue it just because it's a household name. And that's kind of how I felt with 4 and 5, even though I do want to play them and they're probably good. But going back to the era of this is what Gears was, that hyped me up so much. Like, if that ended and it was like Gears 6, I'm like, okay. But it ended with Gears E-Day, and I'm just like, what? We get to see how the world fell apart. Like, hyped. I was so hyped for it. So yeah, I'm so excited for this game.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great pick. Gears was not on my list. I do like Gears. I'm a casual Gears fan. I'm not a hardcore Gears fan. Back in the day, I did play a ton of Gears 2. That was my game. I was grinding that. A lot of multiplayer with the friends.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Gears 2, a little bit of Gears 3. And I kind of fell off after that. I really didn't play 4 or 5 like at all. So I'm not a massive Gears fan, but I do love and respect what they're doing. And I might check this out since it's a prequel. I mean, you might as well. I don't have to know what's going on in 4 and 5. I thought it was an awesome trailer. I know a lot of people were really excited when they saw Dom and Marcus back together there. Old stuff, grown man tears, like you said. So great pick. Definitely a big game to end it on. Certainly a much bigger game than Killzone, but
damn.
Shots fired.
I always
shots fired. I forgot about that.
Little side tangent, but I always loved when people tried being like, it was Halo or Call of Duty was the argument back in the day, and people were like, what about Killzone? It's like, sit down.
No one cares about Killzone. I'm sorry.
I loved the first one. Y'all
Killzone. Didn't buy it, and that's why they shut it down. So,
yeah.
But anyways, I'm sorry. This is getting messy here. Let's go ahead and move on to my number one game. Yeah. So my number one game, I wonder, Hodge, you know me. You know what my favorite studio is. You know what games I like. Can you guess what my number one game was?
Just curious. It's that Fox one where you're.
It was the Fox one. How did you know? No. All right. So my number one game was Dragon Age The Veilguard. I love BioWare. BioWare is my favorite studio of all time. Shout out to Mark Dara, who you interviewed, Cog, you and Maddie. I'll have to check that out, but I'm excited about this. The trailer was a bit lame. I wasn't really feeling the Marvel energy from the trailer, but I did watch the 20-minute gameplay reveal afterwards, and I've seen a lot of stuff that they've been talking about, and they've confirmed many things that I'm into. There's going to be deep RPG elements. There's going to be a lot of choice and consequence. You got 6 different origins that you get to pick from that influence the story and what people say. It's a gritty adult game. There is blood, there is nudity, there is romance. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. I'm gonna be making choices. I'm gonna be messing people up in combat, and I hope it's gonna have replayability too. Maybe I'll be able to do like the good playthrough and the bad playthrough. That would be really cool. I thought the little gameplay reveal that they did was really cool. You got Varric, the OG, pulling up on Solus, the Dread Wolf. You know, he's doing like his little dark ritual. He's the evil guy now, apparently. But you could see like when Varric pulls up, because they were together. They were in the party together. They were good friends. Solus turns around and he looks like he's ready to kill, but he sees that it's Varric and his face softens. He's like, oh, it's my friend. And they kind of talk and they have a little bit of a heart to heart. And, you know, it's cool, man. It's going to be good. I can't wait to play that game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Shout out to BioWare. I'm really hoping, I know it's a new team. I know it's not the same BioWare that it used to be. Like 95% of the guys is gone, but that does not mean that a new team cannot make a great game. They absolutely can make a great game. I see you posted the Defining Duke Ultimate 57, Mark Dara. I'm going to check that out later for sure.
Had to bless you with that goodness right there.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. I don't know how I missed it, but that was my number one pick, Dragon Age, The Veilguard. Cannot wait. That game and College Football 25 are my 2 most anticipated games of this year. You guys got any thoughts? Take it away. Veilguard, anything?
Yeah, I mean, Veilguard, it's... Hodge is going to hate this because I came into Dragon Age late and I didn't do the other 2 games. But I gave to it Inquisition. I'm an Inquisition guy. And I was about that Inquisition. I'll have my party with me. I had Varric was in the crew. What was the other guy? Iron Bull, that was one of my guys. Mm-hmm. And then Solus. And, you know, without spoiling, you know, they did something very different at the end of that game that I didn't expect after playing a game for that long with a party. So, I would just say, like, for those who played Inquisition, this was like almost like a direct sequel watching the trailer at the gameplay reveal. Because to your point, Midnight, I agree. Like, I was like, man, I'm in regardless, but I felt like the cinematic thing that they tried to do didn't really hit as the way it should. But when I saw the full gameplay the next day, I was like, "Oh yes, I'm in." It looked great. I don't care what nobody's saying. I'm all in there. And like you said, I'm pulling for BioWare on this one. And Mark Dora is he's associated with this project. So
Yep.
yeah, Veilguard. I'm interested on the name change. I was curious about that. I kind of like Dreadwolf, but I don't care. I'm still gonna get the game regardless.
Yeah, Dreadwolf is an awesome name. It's a better name. But they said the reason why they changed the name is because it better reflects the actual game. The Veilguard is the heroes. Like it's the team that's trying to stop. It's basically who you're playing with. You and your squad is the Veilguard. So that made more sense, they thought, to have the game be called the Veilguard versus the villain.
Right.
But Dreadwolf is a dope name. I wonder, they could do like a DLC or an expansion and they could call that Dreadwolf or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I'm really excited. They got me. When you got a gritty, dark game with blood, nudity, romance, choice and consequence, fun combat, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there, and I really hope that they nail it, because I'm also super excited for that Mass Effect 4. And we need the Veilguard to do well to ensure that we get Mass Effect 4.
Good point.
But it's going to be good. I have the utmost faith. Haj, did you have anything you wanted to say about Dragon Age? I know this isn't completely your bag, but
yeah, it's never been a series I know I have Origins, so I do want to try it someday, but yeah, I've never been, as you guys know, I've never been a huge BioWare person. I only played Mass Effect 1 like 2 years ago. It was the first time I played it. I started playing 2, but I was busy with school, so I fell off of it, even though I was loving it. I do want to get back and play Mass Effect 2 eventually, and 3 obviously, but yeah, Dragon Age was, like I said, it's hard for me to get into fantasy games if it's not a setting that really sticks out to me. So this was never a series that really grabbed me. And then, yeah, that trailer, I was like, I don't even know anything about this series, but I was looking at it, I'm like, am I watching a Fortnite teaser? Like, are they bringing Dragon Age to Fortnite? What is that? Like,
yo,
I'm like, I was like, I don't know what this is, and I who has nothing to do with the series, I knew, I was like, this isn't it. I know this isn't what people are looking for with this, and so
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so when it ended, I saw all the reaction, and everyone's like, "What the fuck was that?" It's just like, I was like, "Okay, so it's not just me." But then I didn't watch the gameplay trailer because, like I said, this isn't really a series that grabs me. But the fact that came out and everyone's like, "Okay, we good," like that made me happy. I was like, "Okay, at least it's still a series that people are gonna be looking forward to." BioWare didn't just shoot themselves in the foot and be like, "What did we do?" So I'm happy that it's a game that people are liking. But yeah, it's not. Maybe I'll try it one day, but for now I'm like, it's not on my list right now, but yeah.
Yeah. For audio listeners, by the way, Cog has some construction going on over at the house right now. So if you hear some weird scraping and noises and stuff, that's what it is. But
my stomach ain't that crazy. I'm just
no.
Thank you for saving me there, midnight.
But dead ass though, like when I was watching that horrible trailer that they had, I was like, what is this, a spinoff? I was like, is this like some kind of small side game? Because the energy was completely not Dragon Age, Dreadwolf, Veilguard from what I've seen. They got like, together, we are going to save. And I'm like, is this like a live service co-op game? And it's got this, I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, they brought it home with that awesome gameplay reveal. And I'm hyped. But let's go ahead and let's keep it moving here. Let's get to our final segment here. We've been going for quite some time. We have one final segment. It's not going to take too long, I don't think. And I think we're going to have pretty similar lists. We are going to go ahead and rank the Xbox consoles. There's been 4 main consoles. We're going to rank them from our least favorite to the best. So we're going to go ahead and do we want to go 4 like we did this round robin, or do we just want to give our whole thing?
You guys sent me over your list, and I used like a little point system to put it as like an overall. It's pretty close to our rankings anyway, so it's not going to be shit because we're pretty consistent with our rankings here. So I'll just start off with at number 4 overall. We had the Xbox One. Obviously, it's the weakest generation to everyone. With 4 points, you guys both ranked it fourth. I actually ranked it third.
Okay.
But so the Xbox One generation, I'll just start with it. So this is obviously the one Xbox fucked up the most. It's the one that, even though I am a staunch defender of the Xbox One, people know this about me. It was dumb that they launched it with the Kinect, being forced to connect to it, but I loved the Kinect. Being able to walk into my house and say, Xbox on and have the Xbox, the DVR, the TV, everything turn on. It goes straight to whatever. And then you say, like, I don't know, Xbox, go to Titanfall. And then it just switches over to it. The camera sees your face. It automatically signs you in. If you enter the room, it signs you in. Like, I thought it was awesome. I love that console. It's just the games really weren't there for that gen. Even though Quantum Break is genuinely an amazing game and people slept on it because it was on
Rise, Son of Rome.
Let's go.
Rise, Son of Rome.
Game of all time.
Great. Yep. I love that game just like I love Order 1886 and Hellblade. They're short games, but great stories. And yeah, Rise is a great game. And Quantum Break.
Sunset Overdrive, I didn't play yet.
Sunset,
it's on my backlist,
awesome.
but I know everyone loves it.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. Great game. Yeah. So it's just an underrated. It deserves its criticisms. It was a pretty bad thing. They didn't do so hot that gen, but I liked it for what it was. And then when the 1X came out, that thing was a beast. Yes, the 1X at the time, that thing was a monster, and it was a huge step up in that generation. And yeah, it's really, if you go down to the games, yeah, it's probably the weakest generation, but that console, it did a lot of things that honestly were ahead of the time, because people are like, I don't want this thing in my house listening to me, and everyone has a fucking HomePod or whatever on their desk now. And it's like, so you don't mind that it's sitting there listening to you. Okay. So I just think it was a console that was ahead of its time. The little picture-in-picture thing that looked like crap, where you had like the little thing, like,
but you go watch the game though.
Yeah, you can watch your game and you're like,
It's all right.
kind of looking up at, like, I can't see it. It's taking up a third of my screen. I still can't see the screen. So like that stuff was, and the UI was terrible, because that's when they were trying to integrate it with Windows at the time.
It was horrible.
Yeah, that was horrendous. But overall, I like the gen. So I mean, I put it at third overall instead of fourth. So, but you guys go off on how it's the worst one, obviously. But
yeah, we had it in fourth. I'll just say, rest in peace, Xbox Lizard. Scalebound.
Wow.
Scalebound, we missed you.
Yeah,
they canceled Scalebound. I was excited. I mean, it didn't look very good, to be honest with you, but I was hoping that they would pull it together and it would be good. But apparently it sucked, and it got the axe. So RIP Xbox Lizard. Xbox One was the generation that ruined everything. So I have to put it at 4 for that reason, because they fucked it up. They dropped the ball. Don Matrick energy out there.
You don't like this online? You don't
like
get a damn 360.
Play the 360 and quit crying, bitches. Be like, all right, well, we're just not gonna buy your console. So, what is there to say, Cog?
Yeah,
take it away.
It's a very unfortunate era, but Hodge, to his point, there was some moments. I wanted to shout out Titanfall debuting on Xbox One. Dude. I remember picking that bad boy up and was really blown away. And at one point, it was exclusive. The first one and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, look, that we talked about Rise of the Rome. I still agree with Maddie that I felt that their launch lineup was far superior to PS4 at the time. I had the PS4 and I loved it, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of very indie centric and stuff like that. And I remember playing the Rises, the Capcom Dead Rising 3. We had a Forza at launch. And yes, Hodge, I was also a Kinect fan. I was the guy doing the Kinect fitness and all the foolishness. So yeah, look, they butchered the generation. The messaging was absolutely horrible. We are not going to say that this thing was not the worst of all of the potential. All of the potential it had. It should have been way bigger than what it was. And yes, people eventually did. They were too ahead. And they were too aggressive with being ahead and trying to force people into this vision. And that's what did them in. Ultimately, they ended up being proven right. But it's just the execution was just mishandled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So that was the Xbox One. I echo a lot of what you guys said. It wasn't all bad. There was some good games. The hardware was okay, especially the 1X, very powerful. Game Pass came out in this time, of course, so that was awesome. So there was some good stuff, but ultimately they fumbled so bad at that launch. And then there was a couple of dry spells. And yeah, it was unfortunate, but it wasn't all bad, but it was the worst in my opinion. But Hodge, what's going on for number 3?
So number 3, you guys both had 3. I had at number 4. This is my least favorite, is the original Xbox. It's not that this is a bad console by any means or anything. It's just that with me, I never owned the original Xbox. Obviously, I think back to the LAN party days of going over to friends' houses and just everyone putting the TVs next to each other, playing Halo. That was the greatest thing you could do. That was because it came out in 2001, so I'm a little younger than you guys. I was 10 when it came out. So that was a sleepover game. Like, you have all your buddies over, like, we're all sleeping over playing Halo till 5 in the morning. Like, that was the shit. But when I think about the overall console, like, obviously it brought Xbox Live, it brought in achievements, it brought in the Ethernet port to the system and everything. Like, it was a great thing. But the PS2 obviously dominated at that generation, but it was a great console. It's the one I have the least memories with, other than kind of the Halo LAN parties. Like I said, I wasn't into a lot of the exclusive Xbox One or like Xbox original games and everything. So it was one I just don't have as much of a connection to. And I thought the Xbox One it had a more excitement to me for some reason, even though obviously it failed a lot worse than this console did. But yeah, it's a great console. It's just, I like the Xbox One just slightly better. But yeah, what do you guys think about the OG?
Yeah, you're also younger than us, Hodge, so that might be it too. I think.
Yeah,
well,
that was back when I had the consoles that were given
seasoned.
to me.
Seasoned old heads.
Yeah, no, I got the consoles that were given. I didn't buy them back then, so that's why I didn't have an Xbox.
It makes sense what you say. I'm sorry, Ben. I could cut you off. Continue.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, so just Xbox original, I'll just say, it was a good console. They got slaughtered by PS2, of course, but they were in the building, though. They showed up. They had The Rock. If you smell, he showed up. He was marketing the Xbox, and it was great. Xbox had some of the best games of all time. The original, for me, they had Knights of the Old Republic from BioWare. Such an amazing RPG, such an amazing Star Wars story. And then BlackRock followed it up with Knights of the Old Republic 2. These were both exclusives. Of course, they had Halo was dominant. Did Gears come out for the original Xbox, the first Gears? I don't remember. That was 360?
Yeah, it was 360. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the Xbox original, it had limited amount of bangers, but they were definitely there and they were impactful. And really the only reason why I put the original Xbox over the Xbox One is because the original Xbox started it. It didn't kill it. So I'm just playing. But Cog,
yeah,
hit a Xbox, hit us.
Yeah, man, this is nostalgic for me. Obviously, from New York. City, the console was born on my birthday, November 15th. Bill Gates, like you said, The Rock, they come to New York, they debut the system. Okay, I gotta at least find out what this Microsoft console is about, right? I came in very, skeptical, like, what is this? And for me, it was like you said, this is around the time PlayStation is completely dominating. But when I get it, I'm like, man, these games look better, they perform better on the Xbox console, and I'm a techie, so the first thing I saw was like, wow, they're doing this bandwidth with broadband as a mandatory thing, hard drive in the box. Wow, this is interesting. And as a guy who loves music, I was like, custom soundtracks was a thing. Like, being able to say, okay, I don't want to listen to the game developers' music. I can burn my CD, rip tracks, and play whatever I want to the games I'm playing. And it was the debut of Xbox Live, because Xbox Live also, I was an alpha tester, and I thought that was amazing. I'm playing Ghost Recon, talking to someone in Australia, and I'm just like, what is going on? This is the future of gaming. Like, couch co-op, we love that, but this was into the franchises, it really hit home. Obviously Ninja Gaiden, it's the original Splinter Cell, so many games that I was just like, wow, this has, so it was short-lived, but it was such a quality console for as short as it existed. And I was just like, man, I want more of this. I like where they're going. So yeah. And last thing is, as a Sega kid, seeing the Shenmues and stuff, like, this was the spiritual successor to Sega for me. I didn't have a home. I was a refugee. My Dreamcast died. It was over for me. I didn't have any. And I see Sega games on this platform with the controller, and I'm like, yo, this is kind of Dreamcast energy. So yeah. That definitely started my love for Xbox for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Halo, of course. I mean, 10 TVs and the king and everybody. I got everybody from my block bringing TVs and Ethernet cables and learning how to, do this thing just to play multiplayer matches on Blood Gulch and hang them high and to the 2-3 in the morning. I got the whole project, the whole block playing with me. My mom was like, why is 15 kids in this playing to 2 in the morning and going to get food? And those are the days, man. Halo, there's nothing that ever is going to replicate that feeling to me. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Classic. All right, so that was the original Xbox.
Yeah, and then
It
we're
started it all. Go ahead,
yeah
Alex. Number two.
we're pretty much on the same page with these last two. But so the next up is the Xbox Xbox Series Gen, Xbox
Yep.
X. One
Series.
S, whatever, the whatever weird naming conventions they have now, but the series generation. Yeah, this one I was honestly debating because it's like this is kind of Xbox's comeback, and this is where they're finally having more shit come out after the Xbox One generation. But honestly, things that we don't even think about anymore that we just take for granted. Quick resume is an amazing thing. Other than I wish you could have it set to online games always shut off because they just get back. You're like, you're disconnected from the server. I'm like, I know. Like, just reset the game for me. I don't need to do this. But like stuff like that, and just how quick it is. It's just such a quick beast. The only thing that I really don't like about the Series X is the Blu-ray player sucks. Like, but that's kind of always been the case with Xboxes, so I kind of feel like I should probably buy my own Blu-ray player. But other than that, it's such a beast. It's so powerful. Honestly, it's a slick looking system. I love the slab. I think the PS5 is ugly as sin, but the Series X, that just the monolith, it just looks good. Yeah. Oh, you got the Duke sticker on there too.
The Duke logo. Oh, that's clean, brother. That's what I'm talking about. My man Midnight. Salute.
Yeah, I just think it. Dude, I remember
rocket launcher on the top.
Dude, I remember when the Series X was. There you go. When the Series X was announced, it was during that the Game Awards, and I wasn't even watching. And someone just goes, "Dude, they just announced the next Xbox." I'm like, wait, what? And so I turned it on and was watching. I was like, "Oh my god, this looks awesome!" And yeah, I mean, it sucks that the Microsoft is kind of in their situation they're in now, where it's like they're having to port everything over to other systems to sell, and which is fine. It's good business, but it's just this console is a monster, and I really enjoy playing it. I enjoy my time with it. It's quick, like I said, and quick resume is an awesome thing. And yeah, it's a sweet console.
Yes, sir. Cog, what's your series thoughts?
Yeah, series, man. We're living it, right? So it's like it's hard to gauge, but at the same time, I have to be fair in the sense that, like, outside of one or two uneven years, I would say, as far as software output, I actually did a spreadsheet, and I don't have time to do it right now to go through everything, but of each year of the series console's existence. And what I found surprising was the amount of games I've been playing on this damn console. So it's funny to me when people try to tell me they have no games. I'm like, oh, not according to my spreadsheet. And these are games that just are resonant to me, right? That I'm leaving out other things that people would consider super popular, and how is that not on your list? And it came down to not only first party, but the key with the series console is this is now the evolution of Game Pass. Xbox One started it, but now you're seeing these quality titles now enter the service, AAA, indie, you name it, and they can't miss titles. So what happens is, in my opinion, when a title jumps into Game Pass, it essentially is an Xbox exclusive for me. Because what happens is I say to myself, oh, I'm not paying $70 to play Outriders over there. I'm not paying $70 to play whatever this third party date over there. And like, bro, it's truly amazing. So yeah, like, and now the way the gen is continuing, starting from last year with 2023. Sorry for the noise. That's not my stomach. That's construction. But since 2023 and Starfield and Forza and all that other stuff, now you're starting to see the consistent cadence of first party games. And obviously with this year, Avowed and Indiana Jones and all these games, and Call of Duty and Diablo and Starfield, Shattered Space and Stalker and like it's becoming overwhelming. You see the avalanche. So that's what I am saying right now, as far as if they continue this trajectory, they're gonna be on their way. So they've got the number 2 spot for sure. Apologies for the sound.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the series for me, I absolutely agree. It was my number 2 as well. And I love this console. I don't always agree with some of the choices that they've been making lately, but I got to say that this console right here is a beast. This thing is dude, it is sleek. It is sexy. It is powerful. It is absolutely silent. You cannot hear a whisper. You can get right next to it, put your ear right next to it. You won't hear anything. The PS5 is pretty quiet too, but you hear the fans on the PS5 sometimes. You don't hear a damn thing on the series. And this thing is just a magical machine for all the backwards compatibility. Like I said, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Unity right now. We talked about that earlier, and I'm playing that in 60 frames, and it looks beautiful and it's so smooth. And I'm playing all these old games from the 360 and the Xbox One era on there, even our Xbox originals. I played Jade Empire on my series last year. That game was from 2006 or something. Again, shout out BioWare. And it's just awesome, dude. It's just so good. It's a great piece of hardware, a great piece of tech, powerful. Game Pass is always dropping bangers. We talked about this earlier. Too many games to even play. They're just constantly feeding us. It's just great. I love the controller. The Xbox controller, I showed off my DualSense Edge earlier, which is a good controller, but the Xbox controller for me will always be king. I love the offset sticks.
Yeah, for FPS especially.
For sure. I have the Elite Series 2 controller back in the room, and that is just an awesome controller. So they got everything going on this. The games are there. The games are lining up. We saw the showcase. It was awesome. It is a great, powerful, fun console that you can just play thousands of games. Xbox has no games. That's a lie. You got 4 generations of awesome games that you can play on this powerful console and just have a great time. If they never released another game for the rest of your life, you could play on the series with all the games that are available on there from 4 generations, and you would be good to go for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So shout out to the series. Really good.
Yeah, well said. I just wanted to add on to your point. The synergy between being able to play and have your data go with you when you're going back and forth between consoles or PC and anything. That to me is the future of gaming. Like when Hodge is talking about he's on his Ally and I download a native Game Pass game and my save data is there and I'm continuing Starfield as if I was at home on my Series S and Series X. That's the future of gaming. So they've got that synergy. They still got some kinks to work out on Play Anywhere, but at least those theories of Play Anywhere, Quick Resume, all these features that are now we're taking for granted are there. And good point on the back compat stuff. That's huge.
Yeah, I didn't even. That completely slipped my mind because, especially with the Series S, like that was such a smart move. It sucks that people are kind of it's holding games back. I'm like, I don't know how true that is, but the fact that I can have that as I just like you, I have the X screen, have that thing on the go if you want, or just the fact that if I want that in my bedroom and my console out in the living room or whatever, I can just, if I want to go lay in bed, I can switch over to the Series S. And it was such a smart point for them that it's not going to outsell the PS5. No one's going to think it's going to outsell the PS5, but they can sell this $300 console as everyone uses it as their secondary console, and they can just play Game Pass games on it. It's almost kind of like a little Apple TV if you want to use that, or a Amazon stick or whatever. Like that's kind of what it is. And it's used in that way, and it was a really smart move to have that cheap SKU for people to come in and use it as their Game Pass machine or whatever. Like obviously the Series X is my favorite because it's way more powerful, but having that Series S is just that kind of that secondary for people is a really smart idea.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's going to be really hard to top the series, but there was one console that topped it.
I don't even need to announce it. All right, but yeah, it's the 360.
Take it away.
It's no doubt it was the unanimous number one. It's my favorite console of all time, the Xbox 360. This thing was an absolute, it dominated my teens. Like it was the first console I bought with my own money. I was, that was 2007. I bought it. So I was 16. I was just working at Hobby Lobby and I just saved up all my money to buy one. And it was just hilarious because when I bought it, I was still, because I had the PS2. So obviously I was torn, like, do I want to move on with the PS3 or do I want to go switch over to the Xbox? Because this 360 seems pretty cool. And my brother goes, hey, because I was like, I want to do PS3. It's got Blu-ray. And my brother goes, oh man, 360's got HD DVD. It's just as good.
HD DVD. Don't bring that up.
Don't slander HD DVD. I was a fan. Okay?
I was a fan too. I still got mine. I
loved it.
Hey,
it was better in many ways.
It was superior.
Hey, the maroon box looks cooler than the blue box.
It was cooler.
Yeah, shout out to the maroon box.
Shout out to Toshiba HD DVD.
But I ended up going 360 because I had friends who had the 360 already, and then at launch, well, I bought it obviously a couple years later, but in 2007, I bought it. First games I bought were Call of Duty 4 and Halo 3. I go home, I play the BioShock demo, and I buy BioShock the next week. Like that's a way to start a generation. But the 360, that was the era of Rock Band and Guitar Hero with those things. That was when online multiplayer really took off. So playing Call of Duty, I remember playing Zombies and World at War until 2 a.m. Just, oh my God. That is just, obviously it's nostalgia talking, but as well as that console just dominated. I mean, certain Moriartys might say that the PS3 sold better, but that's because I knew people who bought the PS3 because it was a Blu-ray player. That's literally the only reason they bought it. And the 360, it absolutely dominated. Everyone I knew had a 360. If you had a PS3, you were basically the Android kid of get away with us with your green bubbles. Like, it was basically that kind of mentality thing. I mean, I had a PS3 too, don't get me wrong. Great system. But the 360 is just, there's nothing like it. That console, it just dominated. It was so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm sorry, want me to jump in? Or you good?
Let me go ahead and get my bars off on this, and then we're gonna let you get the final word, Cog, because you're the special guest. We're gonna let you bring it home. So let me. So the 360 was amazing. I love that console. It was my number one. Obviously, it's our number one. Just a fantastic piece of tech. It had the hard drive on the top, and you could customize it. I had the Elite, the black one with the 20 gig, the big 20 gig hard drive, massive back then. Yeah. And it was just so good, dude. They had so many great games. It was vastly superior to the PS3 because it had party chat, it had voice messages, it had achievements, it had live, it had much faster network data speeds. It didn't go down for a month and a half due to being hacked. It had the better controller. The Xbox 360 controller was the best controller ever made, in my opinion, until the Elite, maybe. But it's just, it's so good playing Halo 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, playing Gears of War 2 with the homies, playing NCAA football 2009, playing NBA 2K12 or whatever with Jordan on the cover, playing crew mode with my brother and my friend Daniel. Dude, it was just great times nonstop, dude. And oh my God, I really miss the voice messages, especially when you were playing NBA 2K crew mode after you beat somebody, and then you send them that super toxic voice message just talking shit. You're like, man, y'all suck. I told you, you guys fucking suck. Run it back. We'll get you again. Like, just send them a voice message, dude. It was, I see. I was toxic, man. I was toxic. I was a shit talking toxic gamer, but it was great, man. I'll keep it short. Everybody loves the 360. PS3 outsold it at the end, but everybody, if you were there, 360 was the zeitgeist. 360 was the winner in most people's actual eyes. PS3 did turn up at the end, 2012, 2013. They had The Last of Us. They had some bangers come out. They turned it around a bit for sure, but 360 was the zeitgeist. It was the console, and it was by far, well, not by far, because the series is awesome, but by a bit, it was the best Xbox. And I'm going to go ahead and pass the ball to Lord Cognito. You are our guest, sir. Bring us home. Tell us about the 360.
Shout out to the legendary Peter Moore. He was the perfect man at the right time. You know, just the cockiness. Hey, we're here. You know, we are the place for video games. You know, Halo. Obviously, we know. But we got to give Gears its credit for setting up a new generation of gamers and getting them introduced, showing graphical fidelity on that console. You know, the thing also, the rise of Bethesda during that period, you know, the Oblivions, right? You know, like that kind of stuff. And actually running better and not running well on PlayStation was a huge detractor for some people as well. And, you know, the Mass Effects, if you look at the 360's early history of what they had from launch for the first 2 years, it's literally the who's who in gaming that we look at now, right? And it's just amazing titles. So yeah, and also it was kind of like the era of the dude bro, right? We had the shooters, it was the Call of Duty box, it was the Halo box, it was the sports guys box, like whatever you we consider casual now. It started because of that. And then also the 360 ushered in kind of the media area. Like, hey, you could use Netflix on this.
Yep.
You can do all these things. It's more than just a console. I want to shout out also for the indie scene, the rise of Xbox Live Arcade and getting things like a State of Decay 1 and, all these really cool, very creative style games. Another shout out I want to give is 1 versus 100. Like this little game show game. You tune in every week and you can win. And they were just in such a creative space, in such a good pocket. They had the power. Obviously, we'd be remiss not to talk about the Red Ring of Death. It was part of the history. But you love the system so much, you didn't care. People went to go buy another one. You could not have your 360 down in the house without getting another console to replace it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it was such good memory. It's peak 360, peak the blades with the UI, and then also Xbox Live really take it to that. I'm glad you mentioned Party Chat because that to me was the differentiator. Being able to play different games, have all your friends, 10 people, whatever it was, in a party chat. And it was great. And also shout out to the games like Call of Duty, which sometimes they force you to take it off and you get to talk after that search and destroy match and what you did to. Yeah, you had to be built stir the stuff back in to deal with what you was dealing with. And for my freaks out there, I don't know about that Xbox camera. I don't know if y'all remember that 360. That Uno was wild, y'all. Xbox Uno after dark, boy. You don't know what's gonna show up on that camera. Shout out to the 360, ushering in an era of perverts and craziness that was going on, man. Hodge, it was wild back then, man. It was a crazy time.
Oh my god, I forgot about that shit, man.
Bro,
I never had the camera. Oh my god,
bro, it was wild. I remember even Rainbow Six Vegas. You could use it for custom creation on certain characters and stuff like that. They try to get creative with camera. Obviously, Xbox One took it to the correct level. Yeah. Connect. Oh no, actually, 360 had Connect. The first Connect. That was actually popular. Mm-hmm. That actually made them get a little too gassed up to include it for the next gen. But 360 Connect was a popular device. It was a popular add-on. So yeah, they had everything moving and shaking. They and anyone who knows and lived that era of video games understood that 360 was the zeitgeist. They were the brand. There was no dispute. You could say sales at PlayStation caught up, and that is true towards the end. But during the majority of that generation, 360 was looked at as the de facto console to play your games on.
Well, the PS3 was also, PlayStation has always been the more worldwide one. I'm pretty sure it outsold it like crazy in the United States. I'm pretty sure the 360 dominated in United States sales.
It became a global thing. Yeah, correct. Yeah, for PlayStation.
Because obviously Xbox has never sold well in like Japan. It's all PlayStation over there. So yeah, I remember they showed stats. It was like in a month, an Xbox sold like 10,000 or something in Japan. It's like Jesus, like, that's terrible. But
in their defense, they had some amazing JRPGs for 360, the Blue Dragons and Lost Odysseys and all that stuff, man. Really good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Like Lost Odyssey was from the Final Fantasy creators and musicians, and it's dark and gritty, and that's actually on my backlog too. I got to get to it, but everybody loves that. People say that's the real Final Fantasy 15. People say that. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up like the party chat and the Netflix, because I don't know if you remember, you could join a party and then you could watch a movie with your boys, and you were in like a little theater.
Oh yeah,
you could see your little avatar down there watching the movie, and it was all synced up, so you're watching the exact same moment at the same time. That was cool. And yeah, man, it was just a special time, man. The 360 was just so good. It didn't even care. You got the Red Ring of Death. You was getting another one. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I know people who had like 4 Red Rings of Death, and they still went out and bought another one. That's how good it was. It was like crack. People was hooked on the 360, and you had to be there.
Absolutely,
definitely.
Are we satisfied with the 360 and everything?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and bring it home here. It's been a great episode, a long episode, 2 hours and 16 minutes of really good conversation. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. Let's do our final thoughts. First of all, I want to thank you, Lord Cognito, once again for showing up and giving us your time. We really appreciate you. Big fans of ILP and DD.
Love.
As always, I want to give you a moment to go ahead, and if you want to plug anything you got going on for anyone who is listening at this point, where can people find you?
You already know. Before I do that, salute to Gamesoverplastic, salute to you, Midnight, salute Hodge. This was a lot of fun. It's a lot of. I'm glad you guys. We were patient. We got it done, and it was well worth the wait. Absolutely great episode. Very nostalgic. A lot of fun there. Obviously, for those who don't know me, Lord Cognito on Twitter. Catch me there. And every Sunday is the Lord's Day in the realm of the Lords. IOP on YouTube. Look at Iron Lords Podcast. Also do lordsofgaming.net. That's our site for media and things of that nature. And also do this Xbox Centric podcast some may know of called Defining Duke with my man, Mr. Matty Plays, doing our thing. We got a lot of fun things stored. And the love from the community, from LSM and IOP has been tremendous. From you guys has been tremendous. I need to be in that damn Discord more because I see it. I try to get in there. And it's so much fun. I'm like, damn, I gotta be a little more active because the love you guys show is really humbling, man. And obviously, Hodge, I got a chance to meet the homie a few times. Good dude. Always love talking with you at midnight. You got to come outside so we can chop it up, man. It'll be dope.
We will.
But I really appreciate the support. And this was a lot of fun. Just talking games, hanging out, having a good time. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, that's what we started the show for. We felt like so many podcasts were getting like so defensive of one console or just warring about stupid shit. I was like, we just like wanted to start a podcast where it's like just talk about the love of the game, man. Like that's
about it.
That's what the point is. You want to talk about what you love, not what you hate.
Yeah. People be beefing for no reason.
I remember,
bro, this is what unifies us. Why are we fighting? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Like Maddie was talking about it on your guys' most recent episode of DD, where he was talking, someone wrote in about advice for being on YouTube or whatever, and he's just like, you could be a hate channel and get clicks, or you could be a channel in your niche where you want to do it. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of hate channels out there, and I mean, I guess respect the game. I guess I don't know. You get your money, but it's like I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be like every thumbnail being like the angry Brie Larson and like, oh, this is woke, and it's just like, who wants to do that? Just talk about the games you love, man. Just so that's what we did, and yeah, I'm so happy you joined us, man. You'll have to hopefully come back sometime, and we'll discuss some more shit. But
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So let's just go around real quick. We've kind of already done it, but let's just go around officially. Final thoughts, Hodge. This has been a great episode. Please clap, everybody. Hodge, what are your final thoughts for episode 11 here?
Like I said, so happy to have you on here. I love the fact that I was going to say this earlier, but I forgot the fact that we went from such a low of like Tango and all that being shut down to all of a sudden it's like, we back that showcase. We back.
Funny what games could do, right? It's funny what good games do. I told Maddie, good games is the ultimate deodorant, baby. We good
the
now.
Fact that Spencer the fact that Phil Spencer's just like, oh, Starfield can be 11 out of 10. It won't matter. It's like, dude, you just had one of the best showcases ever. Everyone is high on Xbox again. What are you talking about, man? Games sells consoles. What are you doing? I
checked him on that. I was like, Phil, I ain't like that comment.
Yeah.
He knew he misspoke. He said some stuff after the fact where he kind of admitted it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm stoked about Xbox's future now, and I'm stoked we had you on here, and hell yeah, man. That's all I got.
Absolutely. All right, Cog, final thoughts. Episode 11 is in the books.
Yeah, absolute fire episode. My guys, Midnight Hodge, we did our thing. Back to the fun and gaming, y'all. That's what it's about. Let's have some fun, baby. Stop all the beefing.
All right. All right, my final thoughts here. I just want to once again thank Cog for showing up and giving us his time. A little bit of behind the scenes here. I just want to say Cog is such a good dude. He had a time crunch, like he only had so much time to do this because he's a busy man. I put in our chat, I said, let's go ahead and scrap the Xbox rankings because there's time. And Cog was like, let's still do the consoles. We'll get it done. He's just such a good dude. Thank you so much, man. We love you. But this has been a great episode.
What? Yeah, say hey to Sean and Astro for us.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to go see the homies in a minute. Yep.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Sean couldn't be here. Shout out to Sean. He's traveling right now. He's going to be seeing and hanging out with Cog here in person. So that's going to be really cool. I know you guys are going to have fun. I'll check out Twitter, maybe see some photos. But all right, so that's been it for us, guys. This has been Games Over Plastic, episode number 11. Thank you so much for listening. Leave a like, leave a comment. Go check out Cognito. If you don't already know him, I'm sure you probably do. Check out IOP. Check out Defining Duke. Check out lordsofgaming.net. And that we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. You guys have a great day. Peace out.
Bye.
Peace.